All right. Here we go back again. Wow, look at this. First time on the other side of the coin. We've got ourselves a watch along, and my main man, Liz, is here. I can't believe he's wearing a Leicester hoodie. Get out of here, my man. First of all, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to get into this. We have a really big game on our hands, man. Really good game between two top teams. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Bro, this is huge. I just want everyone to realize that not just for the top four race. Obviously, Leicester's been in an absolute amazing form at the moment. But for us as well, we're so far ahead. I mean, a lot of people will say we're 6 points only, but our form hasn't been that great.
Yeah.
So for us, it's a huge match. And I'm not sure if you're aware, Liz, there's been a lot of talk about Frank Lampard's job. So this particular match, I'm worried that if Frank doesn't get the 3 point seat, I'm really worried that this could go south for us, well, for him down the track. I'm hoping it doesn't. Manhandle CFC, thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone that's joined so far. Let's talk about the lineup straight away. We've got quite a bit to talk about before the game starts, which is approximately, 20 minutes away, I suppose.
Yeah, around that.
Just had over 20 minutes. Let's talk about the lineup, Les. First of all, have you had the chance to have a look at the lineup?
Yeah, I briefly looked at both of them. I actually just came back from work, but yeah, I got the chance to kind of glance at both of them. Some pretty interesting lineup changes, especially for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the lineup right now. First of all, Manhandle CFC, he is a Man United fan. Les, he's just taking the piss, I suppose, for with us at the moment. But yeah, the only thing I would say is, Ziyech, I suppose. I didn't probably expect Pulisic to start. I probably definitely expected Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi was going to be the big starter in this particular match. If he hadn't started, I think the fan base would have just absolutely lost their marbles. So glad he started. Pulisic, I honestly thought, that's too many back-to-back games for him. And I thought maybe Ziyech would have started. Tammy Abraham is definitely someone that I expected him to start. But the midfield layers, man, talk to me about the midfield, man. I'm not too keen with our midfield because Kante is obviously injured. And I feel like that's a bit lightweight, man, with Kovacic, Havertz, and Mason Mount. Your thoughts, man?
For me, football is all about balance, right? And I look at this midfield of Mount, Kovacic, and Havertz, and I don't really see the final image of it, right? Like you don't have like your real defensive midfielder in a Kante or in the future perhaps a Declan Rice. And then you have Mount and Havertz, where Mount has been probably your best player this year, right? But Havertz, you've struggled to find a real role for him. And I still think his best position is further up, almost in like a false nine position. With this, I wouldn't even say it might not even be a 4-3-3. It could be a 4-4-2 with Havertz and Tammy Abraham up front.
Oh, that's interesting, man.
For the rest of the team, Hudson-Odoi, like no surprise, right? He had to be in this game. It was surprising that he didn't even play against Fulham or that he was a substitute against Fulham. But this was a game he had to start. He is your form player right now. And the rest of the lineup, I think it reads pretty well, right? You'd expect the rest of that.
Yeah. I mean, the back line, a lot of people have been sort of weary about Rudiger. But to be honest, I just want to quickly touch on that because that's been a question that's been brought up a lot in the social media about Zuma, why he's not in. Obviously, Zuma and Thiago Silva have been playing for us a lot. I think Frank has recently mentioned that it's due to the form, how we've been leaking goals and we haven't been winning. And I mean, I find it a little bit difficult for Zuma because, to be honest, I can't blame him for any of those issues that we've gone through in recent times. But at the same time, Liz, I can't also blame Rudiger because every time he started for us, he's looked okay. So against Fulham as well, I don't think he's done too much wrong there. So he gets to start again. But yeah, besides that, Liz, Mendy, James, Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Chilwell, I think I can't complain too much. Your thoughts on Zuma? I mean, you've been following Chelsea quite a lot, and you've been quite impressed with the Zuma and Thiago Silva combination.
Zuma, for me, even last year, I was saying I think it's Chelsea's best defender, right? I like Tomori. I'm not a huge fan of Christensen. Rudiger, I think, is very... I'm not a fan of Rudiger either. For me, Zuma has been Chelsea's most consistent defender. Even this year, I would probably say he's been on par with Thiago Silva. So for me, usually one thing I really want to see in a football team, any team, is continuity. You want to see like partnerships blossom and begin to form. And you've seen possibly the only continuation in Chelsea's team all year has been that center back pairing. So now when when things aren't going so well to completely break it apart. It's interesting. It's a huge risk for Frank Lampard, but like I said on our first stream we ever did, like Frank Lampard is against the ropes now, so he has to try different stuff. I don't know if Zuma is the guy I would have sacrificed out of anyone in that team. I think you keep that partnership together, but fair play to Lampard, like he's trying different stuff out.
No, 100%, man. I want to touch base on that Havertz thing that you just said, which was quite interesting. That perhaps this could be the 4-4-2 with Havertz sort of playing as a false line up front, and obviously Tammy Abraham as the clear striker. It could be sometimes that he adds onto that. Because we cross a lot, I'm starting to think, with Rudiger and with James and Chilwell, who are going to bomb up and try and put in a lot of crosses, it does make sense for someone like Havertz to move into the box alongside Abraham and add that height. We don't want. I'm not sure if you've recently seen. There's been an article from The Athletic which showed that Havertz have been occupying the defensive side of it in those positions a lot more time as opposed to being in the offensive end of it. So the fan base have been screaming out that Havertz should try and be in the box far more. So this is a good point that you raised, man, about Havertz, which is quite interesting.
For me, like if you wanted to try that Havertz, Mount, Kovacic midfield, I would have done it against a team like Fulham. To be honest, Leicester has one of the most, like you talk about balance, Leicester probably has one of the most balanced midfields in the league with Ndidi, Tielemans, and Maddison. You have that pure destroyer in Ndidi. You have that kind of classic number 8 who's just a pass master in Tielemans, and you have that creative number 10 in Maddison. So I don't know if this is the game. For me, I definitely know this is not the game I would be risking a Mount Havertz dual 8 midfield, which I guess is what it is. That's why for me, I think he's going to go for it too.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, man. Which then kind of makes me think Mount and Kovacic double pivot, I suppose. I mean, Mount kind of tried that against Fulham, but he was post-match. He was saying that he wants to go into the box far more. He wants to be far more attacking as opposed to staying deep. And there were a few instances he's actually said to Kova that stay deep while I sort of bomb up. So this will be interesting, man. I'm worried, and we're gonna look into the Leicester's lineup soon, and as to why we're worried about this. First of all, thank you, Kolkata Diaries, for the question. Do you guys have any holding midfielders? Honestly, man, I can't see how there's any holding midfielders there. Kante is injured, and even Kante, I don't think is an out-and-out holding midfielder. So, in my opinion, we don't. Kovacic is probably going to act as a register in this particular situation, or maybe, as Leah's been saying, that it could probably be a double pivot. So I'm not really entirely sure what is going on in there. We are a bit struggling without Kante, and this is probably a massive reason why we are going for someone like Declan Rice. So hopefully that's answered your question, Kolkata Diaries. Let's take another question before we go into the Leicester lineup as we build up to this match. Boy, if you don't, who in that mid is instructed to hold and bring the ball from back? This looks like 5 to 6 attackers. Honestly, the way I look at this is Kovacic is going to be the main person who's going to drop deep and try and build up. Obviously, we don't have Ziyech. We haven't touched on the bench. Just quickly on the bench as well. We've got Ziyech, we've got Gilmore. Ziyech is a main one who generally drops deep, but in this sense, I think it's going to be Kovacic. But Leas, man, looking at this lineup, I tend to think that we're going to go wide with either James or Chilwell and try and sort of attack from the fullbacks area. Your thoughts on the build?
I'm very interested in seeing how this, especially the right-hand flank, works, because I don't think we've gotten to see really a good amount of games with Hudson-Odoi and Reece James on that right-hand flank. I think with Reece James and Ziyech, it kind of made sense, right? Because Reece James is a right back who loves to bomb forward, and Ziyech typically is the guy who kind of cuts in, giving him that entire flank to bomb forward. But with Hudson-Odoi, I think you have more of a traditional winger, right? Like he's more of like hug the touchline. Of course, he can cut in and make stuff happen. Like that's one of his biggest strengths too. But I think he starts a lot on that touchline. So it'll be interesting to see how he and Reece James mesh. As for Pulisic, I think, like you said, it's very interesting that he's the one starting today, because I think most people would have probably thought Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech. But it'll be interesting to see how Pulisic plays today.
100%, man. I mean, you being from the American side of things, you would be very proud to see Pulisic start. I'm glad that Frank is putting a lot of faith in Pulisic. He's starting back-to-back games as well. Last year, obviously Pulisic had a very, very tough start, but it looks like Pulisic has got a lot of trust back from Frank Lampard to be able to start so often these days, and that's good to see. I suppose I was a bit surprised that Ziyech hasn't started, but nonetheless, let's look at this star-studded lineup for Leicester. Man, honestly, when I looked at this team, I was a bit like, man, this is a strong team. Let's just quickly go through this from the back. Schmeichel as their captain goalkeeper. Castagna is a very, very good player for them. I believe he's their right back. I'm sure Castagna. Yeah, Lias, if I'm not right.
I think Castagna typically plays on the left. Actually, I think it'll probably end up being James Justin on the right.
Right. Okay. Wesley Fofana has done really well.
He's one of the signings of the season. For sure.
Yeah, and Johnny Evans have been solid for them. This is where it gets really interesting for me. It's their midfield, man. Ndidi, Tielemans, and Albrighton. That is a very strong. Like, they've actually got a proper holding midfielder in the sense of Ndidi, and he's a strong player. Tielemans is a very good playmaker. Very, very attacking-minded midfielder who's very capable of being box to box. Albrighton, I think, is a very decent midfielder as well. Up front, Maddison, Barnes, and Vardy. That is an action-packed front line. Your thoughts, my man?
Leicester, man, they've just kind of done what they did last year, and they've kind of snuck up on everyone again. And like, we're talking about challengers, United, Liverpool, City. If Leicester City wins today, they go first. And that's just testament to how good, how balanced, how dynamic a team this is. And you said it best, man. That Barnes, Vardy, Maddison trio has been a revelation this season. It's destroyed teams. It hurt United. Like Chelsea.
Yeah, it's hurt you guys. You guys had a 2-2 draw with them, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, they had 2 opportunities, but these guys are marksmen, man. Barnes is class. Barnes has been one of the revelations of the season. Like, breakthrough players, Barnes is up there. Maddison, for me, people tend to forget about him when talking about England's prestige midfielders. Like, you have Foden, Mount, Grealish, but Maddison is a sensational attacking midfielder. So definitely watch out for him. And Vardy, what more can you say? Just goals.
Yeah, man, I'm worried with the whole Vardy situation. And obviously, as we've touched on, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. Thiago Silva for us has been a fantastic centre-back for us. And, Rudiger, as I said, hasn't made any mistake. But I'm just worried that the pace of Vardy, and Vardy just stays, these days, he's very much, he doesn't get too involved in the build up and doesn't drop it. He just literally just stays up, waits for his moment. But his thought process, he's so quick. People think at his particular age he should be slowing down, but I think he just thinks and he sees the game so much quicker. And I just hope that Thiago Silva just matches that. Obviously, Thiago Silva sees the game very quickly as well. So this will be a very good matchup. Which particular matchup are you very keen to see in this particular lineup between the two, Lias?
For me, it's the midfield, man. Like I said, I'm concerned about that Chelsea midfield. And when you talk about balanced midfields, man, Leicester's midfield is right up there with any team in the Premier League. So for me, it's Tielemans and Ndidi. How will they play against today, Mount and Kovacic?
Absolutely, man. I just hope these bad boys, Mount, Kovacic, and Havertz has to help out as well. I think there's an interesting comment here from Boy. If you don't, Chelsea best option might be to hit them on the counter. This looks dangerous. I mean, look, to be honest, we haven't played too much counter-attacking football. That's what I'm worried about. Like, we generally try and keep the possession. In this case, I wouldn't mind it at all, to be honest, if we just sit a bit and try and hit them on the counter. We do have the pace with Pulisic, Kalamantan-Ndoye, and Tammy is no slouch either. Lias, how do you sort of go into this match, man? What should be Frank Lampard's sort of go-to in this particular match?
I find it interesting, Boy, if you don't, saying Chelsea's best approach might be to counterattack, because it's very hard to counterattack a team that loves to counterattack, and that's Leicester City. I don't think Leicester is a team that's gonna look to boss Chelsea, especially the way they've been playing. I think when you watch Chelsea these last few weeks, it's very pedestrian, very predictable, very, very slow on the ball at times. So I think they're going to be a team that just says, Chelsea, try and break us down, and we'll hit you on the breaks. Like Ndidi versus these guys. Like, Ndidi is one of the best destroyers in the Premier League. So I don't think Leicester will look to dominate the ball against Chelsea. I think they're going to try and counterattack you guys.
100%. I want to read this out as well. This is an interesting comment. This match would have been perfect for Werner. Leicester is an attacking team, lots of space to attack. I don't get why Tammy is starting. Well, let's just win. Look, I think I just want to start things off first before I go to Leas on this, because this is an interesting topic. Timo Werner has been in very, very poor form. He's been missing quite a lot. The good thing about Timo Werner that I'm seeing is he gets into good positions. And he always gets into those opportunities. However, it's his first touch, it's his finishing that is now has let him down, and now he's seeing the bench. And I've mentioned it as well before this match that I rather him now sort of win his place back from the bench. I don't think anyone should be an automatic starter in this team. Everyone should earn their spot. Hence, Tammy's come in. Tammy, to be honest, hasn't done much wrong. Do I want down the track Werner to take over? 100%. I don't want Timo Werner to be in the bench. Leas, your thoughts about Timo Werner, man? From a Man United point of view, this is going to be interesting.
This is more as a football fan, right? Like, you have to earn your starts, and Timo Werner has not earned anything. That performance against Fulham was shocking, really, for a player that everything is up against him. Like, he has to show Frank Lampard why he deserves to be back in the 11. He will not have given Frank Lampard one single reason to want to start him in the future. His first touch was poor. His runs in behind weren't great. And then he got that one chance at the end, and he fluffed it. So for me, okay, you could say there might be space to attack for Werner, but Werner hasn't shown that in previous games where he has had space, he hasn't shown that he's willing to take those opportunities. I think Abraham deserves to start in this game.
Absolutely agree, man. I'm just booting up my stream to see what the boys are up to. I'm sure they're probably doing their warm-ups. Let's take last few more comments as we roll up to the kickoff. Scott McTominay and Fred can't hold them, so you guys have a very difficult job. Is this true? I actually didn't watch the last match, Liz. Was it difficult for McTominay and Fred?
Against Leicester?
Yeah.
How did that game go? I mean, they didn't play. For me, I'm not a huge fan of McTominay and Fred to begin with, but
yeah, you've always been a massive critic on them.
Yeah, for me, like I even said in my last video, I think they're a bit of a myth. I think fans are kind of falling for this myth that Fred and McTominay are these big game killers, that they're these defensive linchpins. They played pretty well against Leicester. I don't think Ndidi actually played that game anyways to begin with, so I don't think they had that problem to deal with. But yeah, we'll see how these guys do.
Quickly, I'll take some of these ones. Baggy, thanks for joining in, man. Thoughts on Zuma not starting? Honestly, I find it quite strange. This is no disrespect to Rudiger. I think Rudiger has been very, very good every time he's come in. But I think Frank had said that it has something to do with our form, and hence why he's changed this up. Feeling the shakes, Miz? Honestly, I am. Because this Leicester team, as we've just already shown, looks very, very strong. So, and these guys are actually, there's just a quote that's out from Rogers that was saying, where he was saying that he wants his boys to go out there and win this match and really be in the. He's not even interested about the top four. He wants them to be interested about winning the title, because he thinks they're in the mix of it, because they're only a point away. They win this, they go top of the table. So
they should be confident. This is a team that here's something about sports in general, right? The most dangerous opponent you can face is a hurt animal. And Leicester are hurting from last year. Leicester had top four in the bag all season. And right at the end, Maddison got injured, Pereira got injured, Soyuncu was suspended. They choked top four. They absolutely choked top four in a position that they shouldn't have. This is a Leicester team that's out for revenge. And like Roger said, top four isn't a priority for them. They want to go as far as they can in this title race. And the league is wide open. If United is in this title race, Leicester is in it as well. Maybe their chances aren't as big, but they have the right to believe in themselves.
100%, man, 100%. Just quickly, Leas, thoughts on some score prediction? For me, man, honestly, draw's not good enough, but I'm thinking a draw. I'm thinking a 1-1 draw here. I still don't think that's good enough.
I agree 100%. I think it's 1-1.
Yeah, man, yeah. I'm just having a look at some of the footage right now. Yeah, obviously still no fans. This is building out to be a big match, man. Just a few more comments here. Cho versus Castagna might be a good watch. Yeah, I agree, man. Let's see exactly how that pans out. Cho has been in good form, so I'm hoping that turns out good. Thoughts on Mount and Kovacic pivot? I think we've kind of mentioned that. Leas has sort of mentioned that as well. I think this particular pivot, look, they're not
Suspect.
really, they're suspect. There's no two ways about it. Mount, I've not seen him in a pivot. Could he possibly do a job? Maybe he could. The fan base has been saying that he should play a little bit deeper. But, Kovacic, you look at what Leicester's lined up, as you can see in the screen, with Ndidi, Tielemans, and Albrighton. It's just, I don't know how we match up, man. Honestly, I'm not confident at all. Played, he disposed Bruno, which gone for goal. I'm not sure exactly what Kolkata Diaries is talking about in that one, but we'll move on. Leias, man, this game is now building up. The players are coming out. By the way, yeah, how's the stream? What can you see?
I see. I'm watching the Sky Sports stream right now, so I see the players in the tunnel right now. So that's kind of
Tammy?
I don't.
Okay, I might be a bit in front of you.
Are they already out of the
Yeah, they're already out, and the referees are out.
Out for me, so
I'm probably not too far ahead from you.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Smash in your score prediction, how you feel, and let's have a very, very good and entertaining watch along. This is the first watch along in the other side of the coin, so this is going to be quite exciting. Kolkata Diaries. Let's have a look. Ole saved job. Arteta saves job. It's not time for laps here. Yeah. I remember it was against Everton that Ole was in big trouble, and he saved his job. From there, he's gone strength to strength.
Ole, you can find. It's getting into double digits how many times he saved his job, man.
They're showing the lineup. We already know what the lineup is, guys. I'm going to have the score here. Give me 1 second. As we sort of go along, I'll just have, obviously we don't have massive graphics here yet for the watch along, but we'll do what we have. Cool. And as we go along, guys, we'll obviously go along with how much time is left and whatnot, and and we'll just update this scoreline as we go along. All right, the match is very, very close to starting. Les, how you feeling about your first watch along, man?
It's interesting. I've always wanted to do one of these, so sorry about that. I'm eating my chips right now. I'm done now though. But
No. Cool.
It should be interesting, man. I mean, we have a good game for us. It's not like Burnley. It's not like West Ham, West Brom that we just got finished watching. But
yeah,
it should be a good game.
We wouldn't be doing watch alongs for that. By the way, your thoughts on Frank Lampard? Do you think he definitely needs a win here, or a draw would perhaps?
Nah, man. Frank Lampard is on the ropes right now. There's not a manager in the league right now who needs a win more than Frank Lampard.
Absolutely, man. I feel the same as well. There's lots of talk in the fan base about how he could be sacked if he doesn't get the win here, and I feel that.
Let me tell you this. You remember the last manager that went to the King Power who needed a win? The last Chelsea manager who went to King Power needing a win and got fired after?
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. We've started. The match has started. Leias, have you started yet or not really?
I'm just about to get started.
Early attack, nice long ball, and good clearance from Leicester. Nice direct ball. Wesley Fofana with that clearance. Reece James with attacking throw-in. Frank Lampard, man, I just saw some footage of him. He looks tense. He means business. This guy badly wants to win in this match, man.
He has to,
Pressure's
man.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. If he doesn't win this game, I don't know when his next win is coming. Who do you guys play next, by the way? You guys have a tough schedule coming soon, right?
Yeah, we've got Wolves, man. That ain't gonna be easy. We've got Wolves next up. Oh yeah, Chilwell back with his old boys. That's the other thing that we haven't talked about. Chilwell probably has a lot to showcase in this match, doesn't he?
No doubt. I mean, it's always good to come back and visit your old team, but I mean, yeah, like you said, like it's kind of like Maguire last year when he went to Leicester. Leicester were ahead of him in the table. Like, they kind of moved on from him, right? Like Castagna has done a great job of replacing him. They've also had Luke Thomas playing left back for them at times. But yeah, we'll see.
Man. Well, early signs, it looks like Kovacic and Mason Mount is sitting sort of deeper. Long ball again from Rudiger, I believe, to Pulisic, and Tammy Abraham is in the box. Lays it off to Chilwell. Mason Mount. Yeah, look, I think Mason and Mason's drifting forward now. So yeah, it's probably Kovacic playing as a lone DM and Mason and Havertz as the attacking eights.
Yeah, I think I may be way behind you, to be honest with you, man. What minute are you in?
I'm on 225.
Okay, I'm at 125, so just a minute behind.
Just a minute behind.
You'll be able to tell me when Vardy scores. So.
Absolutely. That's crazy, huh? Like how you're like a minute behind. That's a lot behind, yeah?
I'm watching off just the stream online though. So are you probably just like a?
Yeah, our one. There's a particular company called Optus. It's a phone company, and they've taken the rights for Premier League. And this is like straight from the Premier League telecast, so that's probably why it's pretty quick. Here we go, Harvey Barnes. Yeah.
Right, they look positive.
Yeah. Harvey Barnes just had a nice drive through just a moment ago into our box by Reece James with a really, really good defensive move to win the ball back. That was good. I'm surprised that I'm not really, really surprised, but Leicester is sort of playing with a high line, Leas. You'll notice very soon, which is allowing us to go direct. I just wonder how long they sort of.
There is always that risk, right? Like that you guys could hit them in behind, but it's also the way they play. Like they play so aggressively and so off the counter at times as well that high line is like they live and die by that. So in games, there are times where it just kills them, but they're up there for a reason. And this tactic works for them.
Absolutely, and so far we've tried at least 3 times already in the first 4 minutes to go direct route one from the back long ball. The last one just didn't work out. So this will be interesting to see. It seems like this is a clear sort of strategy from Frank Lampard to sort of try and get them behind their defense.
This will definitely be a battle, man. I mean, you see, for me and Ndidi, he symbolizes Leicester City in a way, other than just battle hardened warrior, man. This is definitely going to be a battle between two good teams.
Oh, nice. There you go. They just rip through our midfield so easily, man. That's the thing. And I've said it, it's too easy to, put a couple of, string a few passes together, some 1-2s, and it's too easy to bypass our midfield, man. And once you bypass our midfield, it's hallelujah with the CBs. Do you know what I mean? Like CBs are backtracking. Early free kick for Leicester. Ooh, I think it was Harvey Barnes that's whipped in a cross. It's gone out for a corner, I believe. Oh, the ball goes dead. Yeah, that's gone for a corner from Tammy Abraham. How's everyone feeling in the live chat so far in the match? Let us know in the comments.
This game's kind of gone
Oh, you'll see what's happened, man. Oh, goal. There you go. Leicester 1-0. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Ndidi with a goal. Oh, my. It's 1-0 Leicester, man. Ndidi. This was coming. It's just too easy, man. It's way too easy. I'm worried, man. I am so worried for this match. You'll see soon, man.
I think I'm watching it right now. Oh, no.
Albrighton just whips in. The first shot should have gone in, and indeed he just takes a snapshot and absolutely no chance because Mendy doesn't see that shot at all. Oh, my God. 1-0 after 6 minutes 27. Oh, my days. Watch. You know, Elias, what the problem is with us? Once we go behind, we seem so worried straight after. And this is... I need the boys to wake up after this because we've seen this far too often that once we go behind,
wow,
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good one bit.
What a hit. Oh, la, la. And Ndidi, man, he's quality. He's so quality.
I mean, he was just hanging outside in the midfield, just outside the box, and just took a snapshot. And, you know, good on him to take that because that was a perfect sort of opportunity to take that shot with all the traffic in front of him. Mendy had, of course, no opportunity to have, to look at what was going on in front of him.
Oh, what a hit. Oh. Ndidi is quality, man. When you talk about like top defensive midfielders in the league, right? You have, of course, Fabinho plays in that position, Rice, what's his name? You have Fernandinho, Rodri. But I think Ndidi, people forget about him because his passing range isn't as good as the others. And for them, it's kind of a huge thing. But
100%, man.
Welcome, 100%. Craig. Actually, a co-worker of mine. Welcome to the stream, man.
Oh, welcome to the live stream, Craig. Yeah, man. Ndidi is touted by many, man, and we've been sort of looking at perhaps down the track, replacing Kante, and Ndidi's name has come up. Obviously, Declan Rice is the huge one, but as you said, Elias, man, I don't know why people would disrespect Ndidi. Ndidi is just as good. Liz, thoughts on Kai Havertz? 8 minutes into the game, man, just nowhere to be seen.
Really I think that's kind of the problem with him. Like, he's not that. I'm back. Are you back?
Yeah, are you back? I was just losing you for a moment.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Like I said, the Wi-Fi is a little shaky. As for Kai Havertz, like I said, like he's not a player that when the chips are down, like he's gonna kind of grab the game by the scruff of the neck. I think he's more of a Dele Alli kind of player, like very like laid back, very pedestrian. Like when the team is flowing, he's gonna look insane. But this is a game for me where Pulisic has to step up. I think that's his kind of game.
100%, man. These players, Pulisic, as I said, Frank has shown so much trust in him. They've got to step up this match. Leicester are buzzing, man. The way they're playing, they're just so confident. You know what the crazy part is, Les? We were apparently the favourites by the bookies. I don't know how that's... once again, there you go. Straight behind the ball of Reece James. It's too easy. They just got so much space. But yeah, Les, man, we are the favourites.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't know what bookie was saying that. I'd question who's putting their money in that. But my one question for you, Miz, you say that Chelsea are not really a team that when they go behind, you have a lot of confidence in coming back. What do you attribute that to? Because I'm a United fan, right? That they've been one of the best teams in the league this year, if not the best at coming from behind. Like they went on an 11-game run where they came back from behind every single time.
100%.
For me, I give a lot of credit to the players, right? Like you have leaders in that team. But also, I think it's the manager too, keeping like a level head, saying, "Okay, we go down one goal. It's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world." So, what do you attribute Chelsea's going in behind 1-0 woes down to?
Bro, quite a few things, but manager has to be one of them because I feel like Frank's demeanor in game from the touchline is not as aggressive as some of the other managers. And I know every manager is different, but I feel like the players, when they see him in the touchline, they feel that, my manager doesn't seem too annoyed or too upset about what's going on because half the time Frank's like this. Yeah, so they sort of feel, well, Okay, maybe everything's right. So that's part of the problem. And the other thing is, I don't think Frank, changes the game up enough tactically to get an edge. So in-game management from that part of things, that I feel, maybe the players might think that, we have a gaffer that just, I don't know if he's tactically astute enough to change a game. The other factor, and obvious factor, will be obviously the leaders. I think we don't have enough leaders, man. We've got Thiago Silva in the pitch, and I think he's probably the only one out and out leader. After that, it's really Mason Mount.
Yeah.
And Mason's still so young. So, those are my thoughts. What would you say? Because it's interesting that Man United has come back so many times. What do you put that down to?
For me, it's all on. It's on a few things. For me, it's definitely the acquisition of players like Fernandes. Like Fernandes is a born leader. Like when his team goes down, like you saw actually in the Liverpool game when Pogba missed that big opportunity in the second half, he kind of fell to his knees, put his hands on his head, and Bruno Fernandes is right there immediately. Come on, pick yourself up. Let's go. We go again. I feel like as leaders, like you said, you guys don't have enough natural born leaders to kind of manage the team when you need to.
Yeah.
And then also, it's like you said, the manager too. I think seeing your manager on the touchline, it can invoke a lot of confidence, or it can invoke no confidence whatsoever. And I think, like you said, Frank Lampard's demeanor, his arms crossed, I don't think it bodes well for players watching their manager on the sideline reacting like that.
No, 100%, man. Man, Leicester's all over us, Les, man. They are absolutely all over us. They're pressing the hell out of us. They're playing really well, man.
They're a good team, man. And I saw someone in the comments say, United fans need you to do us a favor. He's right, man.
But these United fans, I'm not here to do any favors. I just need to win.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We have here a comment from Khan Miz. Then what else is left for a manager to do? You have summed up almost everything about the basics of a manager. Yeah, man, look. I've said this quite a few times in social media, and been deemed as negative for saying that. So I'll just leave it at that, man. I don't know what else to say about Frank Lampard, especially in game, man. I just don't see enough of him in game. Like, this will be interesting, Les. We're behind, and I want to see how Frank comes back in this particular match. I've seen him come back, especially against Leicester. We've come back on them twice. Once last season. So, this shouldn't be any foreign to us. So hopefully, and against Ajax as well, if you remember last season, I'm not sure if you remember, Les, against Ajax, we came back and got the 4-4 draw in the Champions League, which was a fantastic sort of match for us.
It seemed like way more of a united group though last year. Like it seemed like everyone was more on the same page. It seemed like the young players, like there was a real unity in that Chelsea team. And this year, from just the play in the back, from just the performances in general, everything is just disjointed. Everything is just looks like they've never played together. That was a huge criticism I had in my video I made on Lampard. It looks like Chelsea doesn't do anything in training, and then they just go to the game and they just hope for the best.
Just rock up and just go, let's just find out what's going to happen today.
No doubt.
Chilwell hasn't been too impressive so far in the early stages of the match. He's just been dispossessed just a moment ago by Castagna, which will be interesting to see.
He's a player too. Chilwell has to kind of have a great year, because with the Euros coming up, you'd think he's the natural left back choice for England. But I'll tell you what, man, Luke Shaw looks really good for United right now. Luke Shaw just locked up Mohamed Salah, like locked up. And there are areas where he struggles. Like Luke Shaw is not a perfect left back. I'm not the biggest Luke Shaw fan. Like, for example, his final ball is something he really struggles in, which is Ben Chilwell's obviously speciality. Like, he's a great crosser of the ball. But when you look at out defending, I think Luke Shaw is a better left back. I think he's better in possession, linking up with players. But I think it's just that final third where Ben Chilwell kind of beats him. But he has competition in that area, man.
100%. Leicester's on an attacking move again. Ripping through our midfield, and here we go, lining up for a shot. Oh my days! Hit the bar, man. James Maddison hit the bar.
Chelsea on their knees here.
Oh man, I'm not. This is the other thing. We'll get back to the Luke Shaw thing, but Leicester midfield have shooters from every angle. We do not have shooters.
Yeah, that's very true. They have risk takers. I think that's really what it's about.
James Maddison with a left foot as hilarious. It's not even his right foot.
Yeah, he's a great, yeah. His shooting, his shooting technique in general, great cross for the ball, great set piece taker. I told you he's quality.
You know what?
This is a game really
Yeah.
for him. Right? Sure, what's his name? Gareth Southgate is watching him versus Mount. Like this is a
Now,
huge.
yeah, this is proper talksy, honestly, Les. You bring up a mad point in regards to Mason Mount and James Maddison. I hope people sees this match and realizes, what is the competition here, because James Maddison, I don't think many people talk about this. He's a quality player. A lot of people have been talking about Jack Grealish, but James Maddison, here we go. Let's say again, just too easy, way too easy to just walk straight through our midfield and attack the wider areas. Oh man, come on!
I'm just seeing the James Maddison strike. That's as pure a strike as you can get, man.
Yeah. They're all over us, man. They're absolutely all over us.
It's interesting because against United, they didn't play like this. They sat back a lot. They took a lot of pressure from us. In fact, we should have scored a few goals from Rashford himself, but it's a totally different.
Do you know why? I reckon because a lot of the Premier League teams fear Man United's counter. They really fear that. You guys got proper lethal weapons up front, man. You got Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, Martial, Cavani. Like, you got a lot of pace and players they're clinical. They finish things off.
But that goes back to my point about, remember the first stream we had, I told you Lampard has to find a way of playing he wants to incorporate in this team. And you guys have counter-attacking players that could really thrive in that setup. When you look at Werner, when you look at Pulisic, you look at Hudson-Odoi, like these are players that, they're not dangerous counter-attacking players. For me, it's all about how you want your team to set up. I don't think Lampard has really set his team up as a counter-attacking threat, but he has the weapons for sure.
100% he does, man. Les, we've got Hudson-Odoi, as you said, Pulisic, Ziyech, Werner, Kai Havertz. I mean, what more do you said it a while ago, Les, that we probably have one of the best squads in the Premier League.
No doubt.
Let's read some of these comments. Khan, we don't pay attention to one of the most important ingredients in United Leicester's consistency, performance, settled lineup. 100%, Khan, man. I agree. It's a settled lineup. Yeah. And this is what I want to talk to you about, Les. People talk about rotation. How often does Liverpool, Leicester, or even Man United, they don't rotate that much anymore. The key players play.
Yeah. No, this all goes back. If you guys watched our first stream, I told the same thing to Miz, right? Like, all the great teams. I'm not saying United is a great team or Leicester is a great team, but you look at all the teams that challenge for major honors. You have 8 players in that spine who play every single game, no matter who the opponent is, no matter how you want to play, they're always there. Like, for example, we brought up Liverpool that one time. It's when everyone is fit, it's all the same players that are playing. And then you'll bring in a Curtis Jones or you'll bring in a Naby Keita. But for the most part, it's the same players every time. United are kind of getting to that level. I still think that Ollie needs to find some more continuity in that team. For example, in the big games, I told you, I think he switches up too much. But Chelsea, man, it's just every game you don't know who's going to play. Yeah,
and a lot of people will say, because of injuries and, and fatigue or congestion. But the thing about the schedule congestion, honestly, that's not unique to us. That's for everyone. Injury, fair enough, but still, we should find. Like, for instance, right now, Timo Werner, he's not in the team because, due to form. But, here we go. Reece James finds himself into the box. Ooh, takes a shot. Nice save from Schmeichel, man. That's our first proper attacking opportunity. But once again, Leicester just didn't look too bothered about that opportunity at all. But yeah, man, going back to your whole Luke Shaw, man, honestly, I can't disagree. I've seen quite a few Man United games in recent times, and Luke Shaw, as much as he's not as enterprising when he goes forward, but defensively, I think he's been quite solid, man.
I'll tell you, Luke Shaw locks up. Like, Mo Salah has a very poor record against United, and it's not a coincidence. Like, it's because Luke Shaw gets the better of him almost every game.
Ooh, that was a good corner, man. Almost in. Yeah, go on, bro.
I was gonna say, it's kind of interesting because Luke Shaw, when he first came to United, was kind of seen as like a Ben Chilwell type, like bombing forward, very fast. And it's actually that leg break he suffered in his second season to PSV that completely killed the experience. That ruined him. Yeah, but it actually made him a better all-around player. I think he's adapted to that, and now he isn't the greatest left back going forward, no doubt. But as an overall left back, I think he's very adept. There's a lot of similarities between him and Lucas Digne at Everton. I think the set pieces aren't the same, of course, but they are very similar styles of left back.
Yeah, and there was a big opportunity there from the corner, man. But it was straight to Schmeichel, and he just punched that away.
I just saw it.
There's a lot of people have been touting that we should be, one of our biggest ways of getting a goal is probably through set pieces. I just hope that we try and convert some of these, man, when we do get it, because open play, it looks like Leicester's quite structured. Looks like they're playing with a 4-4-2 off the ball, Leicester.
Yeah, they're very fluid in possession, but like you said, in defense, it is a 4-4-2. Maddison kind of plays right next to Jamie Vardy, and then you have that deep block, Ndidi and Tielemans, which is just hell, man. Like that's such a hard midfield to break through. That's what I'm saying. Like they just have a great balance in their team, man. Brendan Rodgers has done a really good job with Leicester. Very underrated job.
100%, man. Nice move here from Chelsea. Havertz finds himself into the box, but once again, just easily snuffed out by Johnny Evans. How underrated has Johnny Evans been, man? Honestly, another Man United player.
Yeah, Johnny Evans was probably one of my least favorite players at Manchester United when he was with us. I couldn't stand it.
He wasn't good at Man United, let's be honest. But
he has left the club. He went to West Brom for a bit, and from there he was linked to the likes of City and Arsenal, which I thought at the time was ludicrous. But he has come to Leicester, and he's really been Mr. Consistency for them. Like just a good senior experience in the squad, and very rarely drops a poor performance for them.
No, 100%, man, 100%. Cole Strongman Borg, problem is player that should be part of their settled squad unperforming well enough to be in there, Werner, Havertz, etc. But you also can't leave them out due to hope they'll come good. Yeah, not true, man. I mean, it all comes down to, I feel like, player form, but Frank hasn't been able to get the best out of these players either. That's the issue. He's played Werner in left wing a lot of the times, and I think that might have shot his confidence, because as a left winger, Leas, as you know, you have to do a lot more work as opposed to being a left forward or a center forward. I feel like Werner has been exposed as a left winger.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people, when they saw Timo Werner playing up front, they kind of said, oh, he's more of a left forward, because that's kind of where he played for Leipzig, right? He didn't play as an out-and-out number 9. Like, he was part of a very fluent front three. But 100%. That's, I feel like, more as a left forward, right? Like the way Salah plays, the way Mane plays, like they're not real wingers, right? Real wingers are like Robin, Ribéry, like players that come to touchline or they go down the line. Those players, the modern day winger is kind of a left forward like Salah and Mane play. And I feel like the way Chelsea play is kind of like actual wingers, right? Or at least that's the way they want to play. And Werner is not an actual winger. He has little to no dribbling ability. Like, let's be honest here. Like, he's not taking anyone on and burning them, right?
So, Leicester's just broken us again, man. One tackle, and then they just find ourselves, open in midfield. This is the issue, Leas, man, in this match so far. I've noticed it is a bit end-to-end. Chelsea is getting their opportunity as well up front, but Leicester, Leas, every time seems like they win the ball in their half or in midfield. We commit so many players forward that they just catch us with their pace, man.
Yeah, I think this is really this game sums up, as I just see Kai Havertz lose the ball in his own half. This game for me sums up a group of individuals, a group of very talented individuals versus a well-oiled machine of a team. For me, that's really what it sums up as.
No, true, man, true. It's spot on. You can see Brendan Rodgers' team absolutely drilled off the ball, with the ball. They know exactly what to do in transition. They know exactly what to do when it comes to the defensive side of things. Here we go. Oh my God. Ooh. Man, Harvey Barnes. By the way, Harvey Barnes is
getting murdered by Chelsea right now. Justin and Barnes are murdering that left flank.
Exactly. Justin and Barnes is murdering us on the left side. Thoughts on Harvey Barnes, man? This guy is turning out to be a bit of a player.
Yeah, my dad was actually a really big fan of him, and I was the one kind of saying, like, how good can he really be? Like, he's kind of like a pace merchant. He doesn't have much like flair, but for me, he's been one of the breakout players in the Premier League this year. That really, really impressed me this year.
But again, you'll see very soon.
Another guy who might break into the England team as well.
Yeah, 100%. You'll see very soon. Albrighton just took a long-range shot. I'm starting to feel this Leicester team is really peppering it on Mendy. Are they thinking Mendy is probably not as good as what many people think he is?
I mean, if you ask me, I'm not a huge Mendy fan either. I think he is better than Kepa, but and that's not saying much. I
We,
don't.
we've talked about this, recently, about the whole Mendy thing.
I just think like Chelsea, when they got him, just wanted like the bare minimum, right? Like he just had to be better than Kepa. And Mendy is better than Kepa because he doesn't make brain dead mistakes. But I think in terms of shot stopping, in terms of like just overall goalkeeping, like I don't think he's anything standout. Like I don't think you have a goalkeeper there for the next 10 years.
Oh my God, we just lost the ball. Chilwell hasn't been good, man. He has not been good. He's losing the balls in key areas. But yeah, going back to the whole Mendy thing, Les, man, you're right, man. I think we just got so caught up in the whole fact that he's better than Kepa that we just thought that he's one of the world's best goalkeeper. I think we're starting to realize that he's okay. He's
good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. For me, like, how much do you pay for him? 30 million, 20 million?
It's something about 20 million. Yeah, somewhere around 20, 25
for that,
million.
you can't really complain, right? Like 20 million gets you an average goalkeeper. You're not going to find a world. I mean, you could maybe scout young or something, and maybe you find a diamond in the rough, but you're not going to find a goalkeeper at 20 million. It's just not going to happen. But I think that, like you said, it kind of sums up Chelsea's mentality in that kind of position. They just wanted someone who was better than Kepa. Because if you want a top goalkeeper, you pay the big bucks.
No, Oblak, we were linked with Oblak, but he had a massive release clause of about 100 million euros release clause, something like that, something ridiculous. But as you said, if you want a top goalkeeper, you go out and buy a top goalkeeper. But man, Leicester's all over us, man. They've had some really good set piece corners. We're trying our press. This is the other issue, Lias, man. I don't like our press, man. We used to press well last season. Our press this season is depressing.
Nah, you're definitely right. I remember the semi-final of the FA Cup in particular. United could not live with Chelsea's press. They couldn't live with it at all.
Yes, the FA Cup.
You guys murdered us, like in terms of just winning the ball up high, not letting us counterattack in time. Like you guys just schooled us, especially in the press. But like I said, man, everything about Chelsea this year just strikes me as disjointed. I think that's the key word for Chelsea. It's just disjointed. Nothing seems like well thought out, balanced, like done together. It's all just individuals.
Nah, 100%, man. 100%. Quick commentary from Craig Harwood. Tammy needs to keep himself onside. He has been caught offside so many times this year. Yeah, man. This is the other thing, we've recently been linked with Haaland. Les, I'm sure Man United has been linked with Haaland as well, having that sort of Norwegian connection with Solskjaer. But I've said it, Les, many times that I do not think Tammy Abraham is someone who's going to lead us to win Premier League titles or Champions League titles down the track. He's a good player, but he's not someone, and a lot of people say, but Drogba hasn't been good in their first season. We've got to be patient. Hey, honestly, don't compare these two beasts. Really don't compare it. Tammy is good, but I don't think he's good enough, and that's why we're getting linked with Haaland. Your thoughts, man, on Tammy Abraham?
I agreed with you spot on, especially last year. I'm not a big fan of Tammy Abraham at all. I think when you talk about ceilings, he reminds me of a player a few years ago, Emmanuel Adebayor. He reminds me a lot about him. Similar builds, very tall, very lanky, decent feet for a big man, right? Like Tammy Abraham has talent, no doubt. Yeah. But I just don't think, first of all, he has the killer mentality, like the clinicalness. Like he is not like a player when he gets the ball, he just wants to go forward and ruin defenders. Like an Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is the complete number 9, right? And it's unfair to compare
Haaland is a blockbuster. It's
unfair to compare Abraham to Haaland because for me, most strikers in the modern game don't compare to him. I think he's that good. Yeah. But when an opportunity like that comes, like you have to be ruthless, right? Tammy Abraham will either have to be on the bench or he has to be sold. And I'm sure he will have his suitors. Like I said, he's a talented player, but just like you said, he is not someone who's going to lead you to titles.
No, 100%, man. Are the links with Haaland for Man United, is that legit or not really?
It's tough. So they were definitely legit last year, right? United were definitely interested in him in January. They even invited him to United. Like they invited him to the ground just to talk to Ollie. Of course, coached him. He was his coach at Molde, and there were the links there. And I think he chose Dortmund. Both him, his agent, his father. He chose Dortmund because as a young player, that's the best footballing education. That's where he's going to grow into the best player. United are definitely going to be in for him again, right? Every top team in the world is going to be after this guy. Like he is one of Europe's clear talents. How concrete are the links to United? Again, it's tough to say because United is linked with every top player.
Sancho, Haaland.
If you ask
I
me,
don't- Yeah.
I think United is going to buy Sancho this summer. I think it was a deal that they couldn't get done last summer because the price was just too extraordinary. But this year, Sancho is more inclined to leave. His performances haven't been great, so his price has declined. So I think United will end up buying Sancho, and I think the fee will still be big enough that Dortmund won't have to sell Haaland this summer. And I think what will end up happening is Haaland signs an extension of Dortmund, increases wages, and increases buyout clause.
No, I think so as well. I think United will get Sancho. Just quickly on this match, guys. Honestly, Leicester, so many opportunities so far from set pieces as well. They're really mounting the pressure. 31 minutes into the game, and we have not really looked at all threatening. Maybe just the one corner where we had that header, which went straight to Schmeichel. But yeah, our build-up is probably not that great. Havertz, I don't think, has been in the game. Kovacic as well, another player I don't think I've seen too much. Mason Mount's trying his best, but what can you do when the whole team is not sort of in the match? And Pulisic is not in the game. Tammy, here we go. We've got an opportunity. Pulisic going direct. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, side nettings, man. Side nettings. That was close. This is the first time, Les, I've seen that we've done something with our possession. Nice build-up. Nice link up between Pulisic and Havertz in midfield, and then opens it up for Hudson-Odoi, who, look, that was a good chance. Maybe he could have done better, but unlucky, man. That was a good shot.
Yeah. I don't know though, man. Like, I just look at this Chelsea team and think of Aldi last year at United and the thing of Arteta this year. You can kind of buy them you can cut them some slack in one way, and it's that last year United's team wasn't good, and this year Arsenal's team isn't that good. So anyone who ever defended them, which I wasn't one of them, the benefit of the doubt they could give you was that they just didn't have the right pieces. But for Lampard, man, how many more players do you have to add to this team? And I feel like one or two is not enough because it's just so disjointed. Like, what's the player who's going to come in and just change everything? I don't think there is just one player.
We've linked with Declan Rice. Now Haaland. Here we go. Havertz again. This is the thing. I really want to believe in Havertz, Leas, man, because I think he's a top player, but he just gives away balls too easily for me sometimes, man. Chilwell with the ball now. Oh, here we go. Just Pulisic again, giving the ball away. It's just Leicester just too easily wins the ball back. That's my issue. Oh my God. Vardy through. Vardy 1-on-1. Vardy's through. Oh, that's a big save. That's a big save from me, man. That is a big save. Vardy tried to chip him, but wow. It would have been lights out if it was 2-0. But that's the thing, Leas. We should know this. If we're going to play at the high line, Vardy's going to try and catch us just behind. You'll see it coming up very soon in your stream.
Hold on.
Guys in the live chat, what do you think? What do you think about that Vardy opportunity? Hearts in your mouth or what? Chilwell with a cross to no one. See, even though Tammy was there right at the end.
Tielemans is running this game right now, man. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful player.
A lot of people are so impressed with Chilwell. And look, I'm impressed too. But in recent times, I've started to realize I feel like his overall game is decent. It's not anything supremely outstanding. His crossing is, that was a bit crazy from Schmeichel. His crossing is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit average, I'd say. Oh, that was offside. That was offside from Vardy. Oh, that probably would have gone to VAR then.
What minute are you in right now?
35:06.
Oh, geez. This new stream I'm on is quite behind.
How behind are you?
33 and a half minutes.
No, bro, find yourself another stream.
Yeah, I'm looking. They did me dirty. This one is no good.
Reece James with a diagonal ball to Chilwell. It's coast-to-coast football at the moment. One coast to the other. Here we go, Kovacic. I haven't seen him in this match too often.
Yeah, no,
And
he's good.
we are very high up in the pitch, man. Everyone is very high up. Mason Mount. See what Mount has to do. No support. Mount's got no support, man.
Tielemans is terrific, man. What a player.
We are very high up the field, Leas, at the moment. We are very high up the field, and Leicester's dropped deep. They're on a. They've gone now to a 4-5-1 off the ball. Craig Harwood, nerve-wracking thought that we would have been down 2 when Vardy got through. Yeah. I think that might have gone to a VAR.
Yeah, I think that was. One goal in his last 6, though, for Vardy.
But you know what? Crazy part, Leas, I had a match preview with the Leicester Fan TV guys. One of the things about Leicester this season is that they've not missed Vardy's goals because people like Harvey Barnes, James Maddison, Tielemans, and Ndidi, they've all chipped in with goals.
Yeah. Vardy, actually, most of his goals this year, too, have been from the penalty spot. Leicester, for all you guys who want to talk about Man United, Leicester have more penalties than us in the league this year. So.
All right. Hey. If we're going to talk about penalties, there's only one team that wins that race. It's Man United. Liverpool comes quite second as well. Close second.
No, but I'm telling you, Leicester has the most in the league this year.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Vardy, most of his goals come from the penalty spot.
Oh, that's a pen. Yes, penalty. Yes, we got a penalty. We got a penalty. Yes. Yeah, who takes it? There's no Jorginho. There's no Timo Werner. Who takes it?
I think Havertz needs a goal, man.
That was a good move, though. Very good. Once again from Mount. Mount's the one who's creating stuff for us, man. Mount and Pulisic in that instance, linking up. That's a pen. Yeah, that's 100% a pen. Are they checking this? Oh, is this just outside the box?
Oh, no.
Oh, this looks like maybe it was a tackle just outside the box. Yeah, I don't think he was completely in the box. I think the contact happened just outside the box. Well, who does the line belong to? Does it, if your feet's on the line of the box, does that mean it's a penalty?
I don't know if it's the ball or no. I think it's the man. The man has to be inside the box. But if it's just on the line, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a free kick.
No,
They've overturned it.
I think it's just like goal line technology, right? The ball has to be completely over the line. I think the player has to be completely over the line as well.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a free kick, man. They've overturned it. Thought it was a penalty.
It was a terrific move, though. Mount looked wow. It was really
I must say, man, Mount's probably been our player in recent times who's sort of carried that midfield. And it's so crazy to think a 21-year-old is, 22, I think now, carrying us, which is crazy. And you got the likes of Havertz and Kovacic in midfield as well.
He drives you guys forward, man, with every attack. He's quality player. Very underrated as well. I feel like he's not like the flashy option, but
massively underrated. This is very close to this is right at the edge of the box and
territory, right? Or maybe Reece James.
Yeah, I feel like your stream is back, man. You're closer to my stream now. Craig Harwood, it was inches away from the penalty box. Here we go. Let's see what happens in this free kick. Mason Mount shaping up to take it. Come on, boys. Come on. Let's get this. Let's get the equalizer before halftime. Havertz shaping up as well. Let's see who takes this, man. This is very, very close. Oh, over the top, man. Mason Mount took it. It's too close. That's the thing, Les. The ball, the free kick was way too close to the goals, man. You got to really dip. He could have gone under. Oh yeah, they've also. Do you see that, Les? There's always a player under the wall now.
That's the norm. Now that you're right, that's the toughest place to take a free kick. That from personal experience as well, because you really have to get it up over the wall, but then down immediately. It's very tough.
not enough space to go up and over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, that would have been so good for us to go at least 1-1 at halftime, man. Because oh no, here we go, another long ball. Oh, 2-0. It's over. It's over. 2-0. James Maddison.
Oh my
it's
God.
It's finished, bro. It's finished.
What a finish.
It's
James
over.
Maddison, what a finish.
It is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. And once again, a ball over the top from Leicester. I mean, we should know. We've said it, Les. We've said it in just before the match started that we've got to be very, very careful about our, the centre backs and Leicester's ball over the top. Once again, great. Who was it? Albrighton. Albrighton always with these. And nice work from Vardy.
Offside though from Vardy. Was he coming back from an offside position for the header? Like the original header. What a finish from Maddison though. Ice cold.
Yeah, fantastic finish. Oh, look at that. What first touch finish as well, Les, from Maddison.
No, it's terrific finishing.
Great work from Vardy as well to pull away and get the attention from the centre backs. Man, wow, honestly, we've gone from scoring, like having an opportunity to score, and now I had this feeling that this was going to happen. That if we missed that opportunity to go 1-1, that this was probably going to take place, and exactly what's taken place, man. I'm now worried about this match that this is going to go away.
I mean, you said it's over when he scored. Is it over for the Frank Lampard regime? Is this it?
Man, Liz, if the way this game is going and 2-0 down at halftime, I don't know how Roman sticks around. I really don't know how Roman sticks around.
Now, Zeke Khan brings up a good point. What are the chances history repeats itself in a loss at Leicester gets a manager sacked? I said it before the game started, man. This is Mourinho written all over again.
Yeah, I'm not. I was saying before the match that perhaps Frank could save his job, obviously, if he wins. And if it's a draw, maybe he gets another opportunity. But if it's a loss in this manner, the way we're losing right now, 2-0, where honestly Leicester has been the far better, superior team throughout the match. We've had that odd opportunity through set pieces, and that obviously that penalty chance, which wasn't a penalty, to be honest, it was free kick. Besides that, it's 2-0. I think it will be lights out. Like, I don't know how Roman will stick around because we will be way behind the top 4 race, and we've got Wolves next. I'm worried. I'm worried that this guy's going to go.
Yeah, no, I think it's like the Athletic report said. It's a matter of when and not if.
Yeah, and you know what, Lias? The last time Athletic reported when we were losing 3-0 at halftime at Man City, at full time, Lias, literally 1 minute after the Athletic report came out saying that we are looking for managers. You can just imagine what's going to happen off the back of this match. Probably at halftime, a report will come out.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy, man. It's really mind-blowing to me because I never saw this coming from Chelsea. But the more I think about it, the more I see the business you guys did, the more, like, there's a friend of mine who I do a whole lot of mid with who kind of predicted what this to happen. And I was like, nah, there's no way. There's just too much quality in this team. And he was telling me, nah, it's not going to mesh together. There's too many new faces, too many differing styles of player, like too many holes in the squad still to make it work. And I was like, nah, there's no way. There's just too much quality. But he's been proven right. This has been a disaster of a season.
Man, a lot of people have been saying that there's just too many players to bring in and gel together in a very crunching season. Once again, man, the only thing we seem to be doing is crossing. The only thing we seem to be doing is crossing, which is way too easy to defend, Lias, man. Way too easy. I know you're going to get that odd opportunity here and there with crosses. You're going to get that chance to put the ball in. But and if you're going to cross, Lias, where's Olivier Giroud? You cannot cross to Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham is not a headerer.
If you're going to cross, where's Ziyech? I'll turn on my light for a second, but where's Ziyech? Ziyech is the primary crosser on Chelsea.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, Ziyech will be sitting down and watching this and oh, days. Oh, man. Honestly, this is the difference between the two teams is what's scaring me, Lias, man. I mean, we shouldn't be so far behind with the quality we have. We look like we are not up for it, man. We're just not up to that level. This is Leicester with the kind of budget that they have, not similar to ours. Brendan Rodgers, I think this is it, guys, for everyone that's watching this and that are going to watch it. Thanks for coming in, Baggy. So Lampard out. I think, man, this guy's job is in serious trouble. Honestly, this is not acceptable. You look at what Brendan Rodgers is doing, and you know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, what has Brendan Rodgers won? Brendan Rodgers at least knows how to set up a team, at least knows how to utilize whatever the kind of talent that he has. Frank Lampard has all of this talent. Look at our bench. Ziyech, you know, Werner. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. Honestly, I'm so baffled.
I don't know, man. For me, this is like this current crop of managers, like not the top elite ones, but like Rodgers, Hassan Hurdle.
Yeah, Hassan Hurdle's another one.
Yeah, terrific manager. So for me, Lampard, it's not even about Tuchel anymore. It's not about Allegri. Like there's serious managers that could be doing his job for probably half the salary those other guys are expecting and do just as good a job as he is. Or just do more better job.
100%, man. 100%. I mean, the halftime whistles are going to come to an end, and they're so resolute in defense, man. They're so resolute, Leicester. They just hustle, Les. They hustle.
This is the worst thing is they're missing their best center back, Soyuncu. Soyuncu's their best. He's not even playing.
Yeah.
Miz. For your first live stream, it's not the best game.
Nah, man, I was worried. I knew I was worried. Halftime, guys, 2-0. Honestly, let us know in your comments what you think, how you felt about that particular half. Honestly, I felt if we are to sort of talk about this, particular match, let me get my breath, man. Let me know what your thoughts are about this half, man. I'm angry now, man. Honestly, I'm very angry.
For me, man, and for everyone who's watching or joining in just now, welcome. This is the difference between a team and a group of individuals. Leicester are a well-oiled machine, and this is a team, I said, the most dangerous thing in football is a hungry but wounded animal. And Leicester is a wounded animal, and this is coming as a United fan too. We all have to worry about them. They're a top team, and the Premier League is weak this year. So anyone writing off Leicester, write them off at your own peril.
Honestly, people that are writing off Leicester, you are having a mad one. You are smoking something that you need to stop smoking immediately, because these guys are clearly beyond us. Like they're attacking, they're defending, they're midfield, everything. They got shooters from midfield. They got Vardy up front that is buzzing. We can't even get Werner buzzing at the moment. Vardy is doing. You see that second goal, Leas, for James Maddison. Vardy attracts the defenders in, allows the ball to drop behind them, and Maddison's open because everyone's focused on Vardy. And that takes super sort of mind sort of mentality from Vardy. And he's not just a goal merchant. He's also someone who thinks very well as well. We've got Frank Khaled here. Frank, how you doing, my man?
All right.
Frank, what's happening? You've got Leas here, Man United fan. I'm sure the banter, you can stop the banter on a Man United fan. He's wearing the Leicester jersey today. He's wearing the Leicester hoodie. Frank, I can't take this. Honestly, Frank, I cannot take this. What is going on?
Well, bad defending is one thing, isn't it? Bad defending. I mean, unfortunate, the penalty. Well, we did have a penalty, got overturned. It just shows the bad luck. But the goals we conceded, schoolboy errors, aren't they, really? I mean, what can you say about the first goal? From a corner to be 2 against 1 from a corner. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? All right, fair enough. You couldn't do much with the goal, but again, you could have avoided that. And the second goal, it's very hard to describe. It looks like 2 players were marking the same player, and the ball went over, and Reece James lost his player. I really can't. Honestly, I'm lost for words.
Frank, the second goal, how good was that play from Vardy to attract the defenders in and allowing James Maddison to take up? It's like, Frank, honestly, I feel like our players, it's like they have not played together. It's like I don't know what they're doing in training. How we are halfway through the season, Frank. How are we not playing better football? We are so far away from Leicester, Frank. We are so far away from Leicester.
There's no game plan, is there? There's no nothing. We're just relying on certain players to to do something, but I can't see any sort of game plan at all. We're just playing into their hands, aren't we? And losing the ball, we can't even put a few passes together. It doesn't seem like any ideas at all, is it? Really, we've hardly got behind them, have we? Really,
barely. And the only player that has really done anything is probably Mason Mount. He's the only one alongside Pulisic. Their link up has been the only thing that's been positive. Commentary from Baggy, Tammy didn't do anything in that half. Honestly, Tammy wasn't even in the game, Frank.
He wasn't. Well, we didn't exactly give him the best service, did we? But he seemed to lose the ball every time. He couldn't hold the ball up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say, really. It is depressing. And I don't know. I mean, you have to. I mean,
do you think Frank Lampard out now? I don't know how Roman will keep seeing this. I honestly, because this is going to turn out to be, unless we have a miracle comeback here, Frank, which I don't know if we will, because Leicester's very strong defensively. Do you think Roman's going to pull the plug?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't got an idea. But the way it's going, I mean, just the lack of fight. Let's see what happens in the second half. I mean, if there's some sort of fight, come back, you never know. But it's just today, I mean, you're right. Tammy's hardly done anything. A few of the players have just been disappointing. I mean,
Kovacic as well, Frank. Kovacic hasn't been in the game.
He hasn't, but he's not been playing before, and that's why I was a bit surprised that he started the game. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the highlights right now, and yeah, the corner. I mean, the guy, how they can be two from the corner of the first goal. How could they allow a two against one situation? I just don't understand. Where was the other defender? Where was the other striker? I mean, the other defender.
We are all sleeping. Everyone's sort of like, I don't know if they're focused in the game.
I mean,
it's all disjointed. It's all disjointed. It's a bunch of players, a bunch of individuals.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just watching it again. It's just awful. But
yeah,
I don't know. Okay, well, let's talk about positive. Let's see how we're going to make a comeback. Now, what changes would you do, Miz?
Man, I would Timo Werner, Frank Khaled. I would bring Timo Werner in, try and get them behind their defense. I would try and bring in Hakim Ziyech in because I feel like Havertz is probably not doing the job. So I'd take Havertz off, bring Hakim Ziyech, and put him in midfield. Keep Callum Hudson-Odoi. We need to attack, Frank. Look, this is now perfectly set up, Frank, for Leicester because they're going to sit back. They're going to try and hit us on the counter. I would take off Havertz. I would bring in Ziyech, try and distribute from midfield because we're getting destroyed in midfield. Allow players like Mason Mount and Pulisic to really give them the injection to go forward. Timo Werner has to come for me because I don't know if Tammy Abraham's doing anything. We need to go direct, sometimes behind the defense. But Frank, looks like we're crossing again. And if we're crossing, then why isn't Olivier Giroud starting? That's my issue. Now,
I think he was injured. They said he was injured before the game.
Oh, he's injured, is he?
Yeah. But yeah, I
mean, where are you crossing to then?
I think you're right. Let's see. I mean, I hope he brings on the subs quickly rather than wait after 20 minutes to do something. That's been another factor of Frank Lampard as well, isn't it? Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this goal again now, and the second goal. Yeah. So you've got basically looking at this. Yeah, two defenders get caught. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what Vardy falls to the ground for. Whether that Vardy is the one that attracted the defenders, isn't it? That's what happened.
He attracted the defenders.
But how on earth Maddison got all that space? I think Reece James is to blame there, isn't it?
Reece James hasn't been good in this game. Haven't been impressed. Now I don't know whether he's fully fit, Frank. I'm not really sure.
I don't think he's fully fit. And again, that's up to the management to see if he is fit or not fit. Don't take a chance on him. Play him in an easier game. To play in a big game like this and he's not fully fit. I mean, again, you have to.
Man, Reece James was sleeping, Frank. Reece James was sleeping in that goal.
He hasn't looked right. He hasn't looked right for the whole game, has he?
Look at this second goal. Reece was not tracking James. He was not tracking James. Oh my God.
Even the first,
I think Rudiger there's to blame a little bit as well. I'm not sure, to be honest. Rudiger and Silva looked like they were marking one player.
They were. They got sucked in. They got sucked in by Vardy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I don't know. It's just This is so
What would you
depressing
do,
at
Frank?
the moment.
What would you do halftime? What changes would you do? Would you do any changes at halftime?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would bring Timo Werner on. I think you're absolutely right. We need it. We need something different. We need someone that can get behind their defense. And someone like Timo, okay, he's out of form, but he can't do any worse than what Tammy's done so far. Actually, I'll leave Tammy on, actually, if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you go with two up front with Tammy and Timo?
Yeah, why not? What are you going to lose?
Yeah.
You might as well lose the game 4-5-0. But go for it. Have two strikers. Why have one?
Yeah.
And who would you take off then? That's the problem.
I would take off Havertz. I would take off Havertz and bring in Werner.
You need soldiers in these kinds of games. You need people who are gonna fight. Havertz has no fight in him right now, man. Like Havertz is a player that when everything is going well, the team is gelling. He's a player that can get on the ball and shine. But when the chips are down, when you need guys to step up, Havertz is kind of a Dele Alli character. He's head down.
So true, man. So true.
I think you sub him out, and I would bring in Ziyech, a guy who has a really good final ball. If you're gonna cross, Ziyech is the guy.
But I believe both Ziyech and Werner has to come on in this instance. I would probably take out Havertz to bring in Werner and leave Tammy. I think Frank, I would go with two. I would honestly go with two because that helps out Timo Werner being in the left forward position. And for Ziyech, I would even take out Kovacic. But then we are wide open in midfield. We are wide open.
The team is unbalanced. I think you're going to have to leave Havertz on the pitch. I think who might go off, it might be Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, man. That's going to be sad.
Pulisic can score a goal, and he almost created a penalty there for us. He can create something. Not because Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing badly. It's just because the option to bring on an extra striker. And I think that's the only way you can get Werner on the pitch if you take one of the wingers off. And I think you leave Pulisic on. It looks to me as if it would be
Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, the reason why I would leave Havertz on the pitch is just because I don't think you've got a choice on the bench, have you? You really need someone with height or something. Someone that's going to be midfielder who can attack them, He hasn't done much in the game. You hope last 10, 15 minutes, if it's 2-1, we can put some balls in there. He'll have a bit of height in there. I don't know. I can't think of anything else, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you a player you guys are missing. It's Loftus-Cheek in a game like this. You guys are really missing a dynamic player in there who can get on the ball and change things. And you just
he would have been the dynamic midfielder that we need, man. We've got, besides Mason Mount, we don't have a midfield at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Your point, though, about Werner, I don't know if this is a game for him, man. Like, you talk about Leicester sitting deep. In the second half, it's going to be even more of that. They're just going to absorb pressure.
True.
Werner is a player who wants to play on the final line.
Yeah.
He's going to be a player that you want to play in behind. I don't know if that space is there for him. So you're going to be asking Werner now to break down a deep block. And we've seen that's an ugly thing.
I know it's ugly, but what options do we have? We don't have any other options on the bench, do we, really? If Olivia Giroud was there, maybe, yeah. But because we don't have the options, we have to do something. We can't leave it as it is, or else we're just going to... we're playing into their hands. But having someone like Timo Werner, if nothing else, his pace will create something, Something, win a penalty, something. But, yeah.
No, you're right. I'm just looking at the lineup. I had no idea, Frank, as you said, Giroud is not in the substitution bench. As you said, he's probably injured. Exactly. We've got Kepa, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Christensen, Emerson, Jorginho, Gilmore, Ziyech, Werner. Honestly, Frank and Leas, how many of these are match turners? Besides Ziyech and Werner, I don't see how anyone else turns the match for us.
There's not 4 defenders. Why are there 4 defenders on the bench?
Yes, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Christensen, Emerson. I mean, Emerson probably for left back, but Zuma and Christensen?
Option. That's bizarre decision making from Lampard there.
I don't think there's anyone. I'm trying to think of who is missing in this, missing on the bench. I don't know. There's obviously a few injuries, and they've got and obviously Olivia Giroud, they said, is injured as well. So there isn't many options.
Why not throw in Tino Angerini in the bench as well, Frank? I mean, at least give him an opportunity.
That would have been a good thing, but then I don't know. To be honest with you, who knows? But I think if we're going to do anything, I think we had Hudson-Odoi off, Werner on, and Billy Gilmore possibly on for Kovacic, because I think he might be able to do, if nothing else, at least hold the ball back. Kovacic and maybe create something. Those are the 2 things I'm thinking of at the moment, and Ziyech as well. But probably later in the game. But it does look like Timo Werner's coming on. It looks like he's warming up. So I don't know. Let's see what happens in the second half.
Yeah, I think you might have a point here, Frank, that perhaps either I don't know how much Frank Lampard's going to trust Gilmore. I feel like he might trust Jorginho. I hope he trusts Gilmore more, to be honest, instead of Kovacic if that is the substitution. But Timo Werner, I'm a bit torn now because Les is right. I mean, but then again, what can we do? Because Leicester's going to sit deep, and I'm not sure if that's the perfect opportunity for Werner. But maybe having a Tammy Abraham alongside with him will help out. But Ziyech has to come on as well if it's a low block now from Leicester, don't you guys think? Yeah.
You know when we had our good form, when we had the 17-game unbeaten run, there was a period there where both Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham were playing together, and they did pretty well together. I don't know. Let's see what happens in the second half. I'm not sure. It looks like he's going to make a sub. I'm just having a look now. If he's making a sub, they did show Timo Werner warming up there. But, you know, the way Frank Lampard does things, he doesn't bring people on quickly, does he? That's the one complaint.
Honestly, Frank, Lampard has his job on the line. He needs to think quick now. He's literally got 45 minutes, I believe, to draw this match, or else I think he's in massive trouble. So if he holds back his substitution for 65th minute, hoping that this current team that we've got right now will change things around, he needs to think again, because I don't see how this team that we have right now will change things. We need to either at least make one change, at least bring in Timo Werner. That would show some sort of intent in my sort of perspective that we are trying to get this draw.
Absolutely. Something out of this game. But we'll see. You never know anything.
Have you seen any substitution happen yet? I might be a few seconds behind you.
No, nothing's happened. He's got the same players on the pitch. So let's see.
Oh my god! Do you want to stick around for the second half, Frank, or you want to go?
I'm going to go. Listen, guys.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Frank.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me on. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Guys.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Les, have you got the second half running? Yeah.
I think I'm about to boot it up right now, but I think I got a good stream for now. I think so.
Let's read some of these comments here. Whole heap of comments came through. We've got here Declan Ireland, takeoff habits and cover put on Gilmore and Timor. Well, Frank's done nothing, Declan. So that's the answer for you. Frank's gone with the same lineup, thinking that they're going to save the job for him, which is crazy. Baggy, not an 8. I think he was referring to perhaps Kovacic or maybe Havertz. I think Havertz. Carl Mason isn't a marauding, creating midfielder. He is good and can be good, but Chelsea needs a talisman in that role. Yeah, man. I mean, look, we need someone there with Mason Mount. It can't just be Mason Mount. I would take Brendan Rodgers in a sniff. I've said it many times, man. I mean, if this guy is available, I will take him. I think he's a top coach. Les, just in regards to Brendan Rodgers, man, what do you think?
For me, one of the best managers in the league, and for sure one of the most underrated. I think his rep has kind of gone through the gutter in past few years. The Liverpool disaster, the way it ended, it didn't do him the best. It didn't shine him in the best of lights. But people have to remember that Liverpool team was nowhere near winning the league before he got there. He made them into a great team. He made Swansea into the Swansea we knew and loved in the Premier League as one of the best mid-table sides. And then he went to Celtic, and he just carried on what Celtic always does. So this is a guy who's tasted success everywhere he goes. Okay, he doesn't have the silverware, but he's a top tactician. I think he's a really good man manager as well. And in Leicester, right, we always talk about the traditional top 6, but I think that top 6 has kind of been broken up now. I think Leicester has now firmly established themselves as one of the Premier League's top 6 sides. I think Arsenal has kind of slipped out of the pecking order in that regard, and Leicester is that.
100% agree, man. 100% agree.
I think I have a good stream now. What minute are you in?
I'm in minute 47:16.
Okay, I'm 47 straight. So a few seconds.
Brilliant. Now we're there, Lias. We are there. Let's come on, Chelsea. Come on. Do this comeback, Lias. Please cheer us on.
The last 45 minutes of Frank Lampard's regime is unfolding before your eyes.
I just tweeted out that come and join us to see if Chelsea can turn this around to save Frank Lampard's job. Come on, guys. Honestly, this is huge at the moment. Declan, just quickly, your no subs, WTF, it needs changing. 100%, man. I don't know. Frank must just think that this crop of players that he's got on can turn things around. I don't know how he can. Like, we were so pedestrian in that first half. We were completely dominated in midfield. Every time they ripped through our midfield, Vardy's caused havoc to our defense. Maddison, they've got too much of, I don't know, like when you look at on paper, and I had this discussion, Leas, the other day, that if you were saying, oh, no, but on paper, you know, we've got a stronger team. I think we do, but at the same time, this Leicester team should not be disrespected. They've got a lot of good players in that team, man. I think sometimes people just forget the price tag and just have a look at the players.
May, I think if for me, you can even look at price tag. Look at the players that Leicester has. If Ndidi went on the market, how much is he going for? 60, 70 easy.
Million.
Yeah, James Maddison is a top 80 million plus player. Fofana, they bought for around what, 35, 40 million? If you sell him tomorrow, Fofana is going for double that. This is a top team. Look at this. Oh my God, the back heel from Thielen. Like, it's just a wonderful team to watch.
Look how they're just passing straight through us, Lias. It's so funny. I find it so funny. They're just, oh, here we go. Open. Go. Oh my days. It's too easy, bro. It's too easy. Reece James having a laugh today, man. Lias,
yeah,
he's having a laugh.
Him and Chilwell are playing very poorly today. That cross from Albright into Justin, I just saw it. Wow, he has to score that.
Wow.
James Justin, terrific fullback. I do hope they make top 4 this year. I think Brendan Rodgers deserves it. I think, like I said, he gets a lot of stick as a manager where he doesn't deserve it. But I think this Leicester team is a joy to watch.
I'm about to tweet out Reece James having a laugh. Honestly, he is.
Tweet out for you the last 45 minutes of Frank Lampard's regime.
I mean, you'd think this is these guys. We've said it before the match started. Even yesterday, we were talking on Twitter with some of the guys. Oh, that was a good header from Tammy Abraham, but straight to Schmeichel. We were saying, Les, that these boys should know that Frank Lampard's job's in massive, massive trouble at the moment. And you'd think their players, just like for Ole, the Man United players come out, and every time Ole is in trouble, they get him out. We don't seem to have our players getting our manager out of trouble. I mean, Mason Mount got us out of trouble against Fulham, but it was such a bad performance all up for us. I find that strange, Lias, that we can't seem to get that motivation to get our players to help Frank Lampard out. Like, our players are just not up for it.
You think it's surprising? Because for me, I said this a while ago, he has completely lost certain players. Havertz is lost. Havertz is not fighting for Lampard anymore. Werner, he's losing. So for me, this is what I said on your stream that one time, right? Chelsea had something going on last year. They had the young players. They had a unity around the team. They were all buying into Frank Lampard's message. And now he's brought in 7 or 8 new players, and the results aren't going well. He's dropping certain players. He's just loaned out Tomori to Milan. Like, the team is disjointed, not just on the pitch, but I think as a squad. They're not united whatsoever. And I think you say players have gotten Ollie out of situations over and over again. I think that team has kind of grew with Ollie, where Lampard had a team that he was growing with, and he completely kind of just threw it away.
100% agree, man. 100% agree. Quickly, just reading out some of these comments. Baggy, we feel that it's in the best interest of the club that we part ways with the current manager. Look, man, if this ends up 2-0 or even 3-0, I'm pretty sure probably Leicester will be more likely to score. I think Frank will be finished here. And that's exactly how I feel. Quick shout out, HMD01. Leas, we've got a Leas supporter here. Big up, big up.
How you doing, bro? Welcome to the stream.
All these Man United fans come to laugh at us. Get out of here. We got here, what's Cover doing? Honestly, Emmanuel, I don't know. I'm not really sure what Cover has done. I'm not really sure what Cover has done in the last 4 or 5 games. Like, I don't know. A lot of people say that, you know, he was good last season when it was sort of freedom to do whatever he wanted to do. This season, he's having to go wide. He's been probably instructed by Frank Lampard to go wide. And maybe that's sort of killed his game. But Les, I don't know how much you've watched us recently, man. Thoughts on Kovacic?
I had a tweet the other day. I got a lot of controversy. I said the summer that Kovacic was bought by Chelsea, Fred was bought by United, and Naby Keita was bought by what's his name, Liverpool. 3 big money signings, 3 big midfielders. They all had high expectations. Yeah. And after year one, and even year 2, you could have probably said Kovacic was the best buy. But for me, Fred has actually probably been the biggest success out of all 3 of them, when in reality, he's probably the least talented out of all 3 of them. And I feel like you look at Kovacic, I was a huge fan of him at Inter Milan. I thought that was really when he played his best football. He went to Real Madrid, and I think he was still good there, but he obviously wasn't getting the opportunities with Modric and Kroos. But I think last year he had a good season with Chelsea, but this year he has really struggled, right? Like
struggled big time.
He's a good passer of the ball. He's a good dribbler, but I think it's his effectiveness in games that you really question. Like, what's the impact on Chelsea?
What's the impact? What's his impact in the match? Really close call again from a set piece. I think set piece is the only top. Oh, man, look at this ball from Leicester. Here we go. Open again. Where's Reece James? Pulisic is the one in the wings. Wow. Oh, there's Reece. It's opened up. It's going to be goal. They're going to score, man. There we go. 3-0.
Wow.
Oh, no, it's offside.
Maddison, what a pass.
They look so devastating, Les, bro. They look so devastating on the break. Yeah, that was offside.
Chelsea's defense, forget about being offside. They were all over the place.
6s and 7s, bro. Just poor. See, Les, you've been watching this match, right?
Yeah.
As if you were Roman Abramovich, are you impressed with what you're watching?
Nah, if I'm Roman Abramovich, I'm conducting the tweet right now, trying to find the best phrasing of words. How can I politely fire Frank Lampard? Like, thank you for your service, but your time is
politely put him down.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm pretty sure Roman is Frank Lampard out right now. #Lampard out. He's probably tweeting that out very soon.
And there's been better and more accomplished managers in Chelsea Football Club's history that have been.
You've said it.
Ancelotti got fired after winning the double. He got fired in the tunnel of Everton.
Ancelotti was second in the table the season after he won the double, and he got fired.
Now, let me tell you, that Chelsea team, that's the best Chelsea team I've ever seen in terms of pure football. That's the best Chelsea side I've seen. And he got fired after
that. 100%. Craig Harwood, we're lacking the size on our corner like we had with Cahill and Ivanovic. Look, defensive corners. Look, set pieces is something that we've probably improved, Craig. I reckon defensively and offensively, we've scored quite a few goals. So I'm not entirely sort of unhappy about that. But it's our midfield. Our midfield, we've got no one in our midfield that can actually dominate the game. Whereas you can see Leicester all over us. Yeah. And this game is now so open that it can go anyways. So
I feel bad for him. I feel really bad for him.
Yeah, he's the only one that's trying to do anything. Look, he's there. We get dispossessed in midfield, and here we go, Vardy through with 2 CBs and 3 Leicester players up front, and the ball through. Here we go. Oh, good save, Mendy, good save. But the danger's not over yet.
Where that comes from, though, right? Pulisic running in traffic. He's a very head-down dribbler.
See, Les, I said this, man, and I've taken so much heat. I like Pulisic, Les, but he puts his head down. He does not look up to see options. And it's no good. You know, it's no good if you're going to go past 4 or 5 players and you're not looking up to release the ball. Yeah?
I like this comment, man. Lampard hasn't backed his players in the media at all. He's thrown them under the bus a few times this season alone. Whenever United lose, all he takes all the blame. Players love a manager that backs them. That's spot on.
Said it many times, Les.
That's absolutely spot on. And it's just like Liverpool, Klopp and Guardiola. People hate when they come in after the games and blame, oh, the officiating was bad. Oh, that we didn't get a penalty here. They do that to take the pressure off their own players. You can slate your players, but you do it in the locker room. You do it in the dressing room after the game. That's perfect, 100%.
Fatigue. should resign honorably before he's sacked. Rudiger is awful. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been good this game.
It was a bargain, right? Dropping Zuma for him, and it's a bargain that has failed for Frank Lampard. How much legitimacy is there in the Avram Grant rumors? How much legitimacy is there?
I mean, Avram Grant has come out himself and said that that's not true. But I feel like every time, Lias, when people do that, there is some form of truth behind it. When you're actually coming out and actually saying that, nah, no one's approached me. No, I think people have approached you, and that's why you're saying that. It's almost the opposite. Zeke, if Lampard is sacked, do you think Grant or Hiddink will be coming in for the season, or is it Tuchel or Allegri the answer? Honestly, I think it might just be an interim for the time being until we actually find
Jody Morris, maybe.
Probably Jody Morrison, yeah. Jody Morris will get that opportunity. I'd say for the time being. I don't think he'll be long term. I really don't think he'll be long term.
They'll probably, honestly though, they'll probably give him the assistant. They'll probably offer them the assistant job to whoever comes in, because I think Chelsea has high hopes for Jody Morris, right?
Yeah. Peter Najiri, someone please give me the link. Are you talking about the link to the YouTube, or which link are you talking about?
Not to a game.
Oh, to the game. Okay, that's Liz. Bad boy Liz probably has a link for that.
Yeah, if you want to stream, it's a little behind. Look up footybite.com and go crazy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but whatever. We'll do repercussions. I think you're able to do that. Yeah, footybite.com. I think you're good.
I think you are. I don't think there should be any problems. Yeah. Bro, honestly, I don't know. Pulisic has got the ball. I don't see where the goal's coming from, Liz. I really can't see where the goal's coming from.
Me neither. And that's why when Frank Khaled was saying, like, at halftime, like, we need to make changes, like, who is going to be the player to make a change? I think it's gone beyond personnel anymore. I think it's just these players aren't playing fully for Frank Lampard anymore. I truly believe that. And that's something I never said about United last year. I said United were bad every single way you could have wanted it. Horrible, trash. Yeah. I never once said, they don't want to play for Ole anymore, because they were trying. It was just not good enough. But here, I really think seeing players like they're not fighting anymore, man. That's why I feel bad for Mount. I feel like he's the only one doing anything.
Mount's the only one. There was a really, really good tweet right off the back of Fulham's game. I'm not sure if you saw this. It was Eminem C. You're the only one that believed we were. No one ever believed it. It was a good rap potion.
I actually know him. Yeah.
That was absolutely got the whole picture correctly. Mason Mount's the only one that's ever fighting for Frank Lampard. These guys, it's a good point that you bring up, players that, man, players like Havertz, Werner, they're probably not playing for Frank Lampard anymore, even though they all said that they signed because of Frank Lampard.
I mean, yeah, there's a difference between Frank Lampard, the player, and Frank Lampard, the manager. And they say never meet your idols, right? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Welcome, Chad, to the stream. That's another person from Twitter.
Massimiliano Rasclat Allegri. He knows his team blood. He's a tactician blood. Look, man, he is, but I don't know if I want him at Chelsea, man. He does play more sort of that, sort of Conte sort of style, which won us a league, fair enough. But I want a manager that's able to play possession-based football, and take us to the levels of Man City one day. I'm not talking about today, tomorrow. I'm talking about 2-3 years, but at least that progression. And this is what I was seeing with Sarri. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat, or why we're talking about Sarri, but that's what Sarri was doing, Leis. That's what Sarri was doing.
For me, like, Allegri is a top manager. I'm a big fan of Allegri. I think personally, like, you look at his track record. I know a lot of people say, it was Juventus. Everyone wins the league in Juventus. You have to look at what he took over. He took over Conte's Juventus, who couldn't do anything in Europe, and he made them Champions League finalists twice. And the thing that's special about those teams is that they're two completely different teams. He built both of those. So the first one, you had Pogba, Vidal, Pirlo, Marquisio, Tevez, Morata, and then that team was broken up, and he built the team around Dybala, and he had Higuain, and he had Mandzukic, and he built that team. So for me, he's shown that he's a great squad builder. Yes, he is a pragmatist. He is not the beautiful footballing purist that you might want to see at Chelsea, but he's a pragmatist. That's shown. Pragmatists have a lot of success at Chelsea.
True.
For me, also, the most underrated job he did was with Milan. Milan had not won a league for almost 9 years, and he took over that AC Milan team, brought Zlatan, and he won them the last league that they have won. Top manager.
By the way, Elias, man, Wesley Fofana is eating it up. He is eating it. He's tackling everyone left, right, and center. He's dribbling the ball up. He is intercepting. Wesley Fofana, for me, has been immense for Leicester, man. Immense.
For me, I made a video earlier in the year, who's been the signing of the season, and it was him, Jota, and Højbjerg. And I think Fofana has just been lights out, man. We talk about 80 million for Maguire. If Leicester are ever to sell this guy, they're going to make a fortune.
Yeah, man. Fofana is looking here we go. Ziyech warming up. Ziyech trying to come through. Even Timo Werner. Man, I don't know, man. This is the thing, Leas, again, man. 65th minute. What are we expecting? Why are we waiting so long?
Ollie does the same thing. He waits 60 minutes and the subs come on.
What is that all about, Leas? What is that?
I think
why the special number 65?
Maybe at halftime he thinks that giving the players 15 more minutes of chances gives them. I don't know. For me personally, I see games and I feel like sometimes you can immediately tell what's wrong. Like there's no point in even waiting till halftime.
Exactly. Sometimes I even feel within the first 15 minutes you can see, this doesn't look good.
The same thing happened with United against Leipzig. Like within 5 minutes, they were down 2-0, but you could see from the first 30 seconds that something was wrong. I think managers are very hesitant because look, like what you do in training for the entire week is what you do in the game. So managers are hesitant to kind of throw away an entire week's worth of training just because of like a poor start. But sometimes you can just tell when your plan isn't working. You have to be honest with yourself.
No, it's a good point, Leas, that I feel like a lot of the time, sometimes managers, they're egotistic as well. Let's not kid around themselves that they have a plan and they don't want to sort of second doubt themselves that, I think I might have got my plan wrong. And then they start making the changes. And that's why I feel like sometimes they just stick to their game plan. But you got to be honest to yourself, as you said, Leas, that if you see that maybe this is not working out, you got to change.
No doubt.
Let's read some of these comments, man, because I can't see where the goal's coming from for us. If anything, probably Leicester's going to score. Look how deep some of our attacking players are. Kovacic finally gets the ball after a long time, puts a very good ball for Chilwell. Finally, Chilwell goes to the byline. Let's see what he does here. This is where I need Chilwell to do well, and he slows the match down. See, this is the thing. And this is why people, I don't know why they keep saying that Chilwell is such an outstanding left back. I want Reguilon. I'm happy we've got Chilwell. I'm not going to deny it, but I just need people to understand that Chilwell is not that big time left back that you guys all expected. The regen of Ashley Cole, apparently.
Nah, come on. Reguilon is class. Reguilon for me is you talk about left foots, man. He has a terrific cross on him. Chilwell, though, I really liked him. I'm surprised he's been this poor this game. I think this year he's been pretty well. He's been pretty good. But yeah, today, James have been really shocking.
Yeah, James, I don't even think Reece James has been actually fit. He's more now playing as a defensive midfielder, Reece James, if anything. And Callum is going as wide as possible. Another cross in from Callum and and too easy for Kasper Schmeichel. Let's take some of these comments here. But why will we change? Zuma was doing well for Rudiger. Honestly, I think Frank Lampard in the last match post Fulham came out and said that it's got something to do with form, apparently our team form, hence why he's been left out. I find it strange to say that it's just purely based on him. Ziyech and Werner coming on, Leas, man. Just quickly, some of these comments. Makalele and Ballack on the bench. Yeah. I wish, bro. I wish. I think Lampard will get the sack tonight. Look, I'm scared. If it ends 2-0, even from here, Leas, what do you think? If it's 2-2, does Lampard stay? I don't think so. Most parts we've been pretty poor.
I don't see the benefit of him staying at this point anymore. Okay, you draw 2-2. The problems don't go away if you draw 2-2. I think the performance is the concerning part. It's not the result. It's the performance. These players, you look at Havertz just now. He looks like he wants to be anywhere but on the pitch.
Yeah.
I think the time has come, man.
No, true. I have to agree. It's a very good point that you said, Les, that it doesn't matter if you come back now because the whole game you've been poor. So and the performances and the issues are still gonna be there. So
it's not like you guys are
Yeah.
playing well and like 2-2 is like the game you deserve. Like you guys are playing like 2-0 is a fair scoreline. If anything, Leicester have been unfortunate not to get a third.
probably should be 3-0, honestly. Like it saddens me to say this as a Chelsea fan, but it probably should be 3-0 Leicester's way. Because I don't know what we've done besides that one really good movement from Pulisic and Mount in that first half to get that free kick, which initially was a penalty shout, which obviously wasn't. Besides that, we've had some chances from corners, but headers have gone straight to the keeper. Look, it's just too easy, Les. They just 2-3 passes through the middle and they go straight through us.
I mean, I'm looking at the lineup now. Like, who's playing where? Right? Is Werner playing behind Abraham?
Yeah, it'll be good to see exactly. I think Werner's playing alongside Abraham as two up front.
We'll see how that works out. Here comes Maddison. Oh, good tackle.
You know what the crazy part is, Les? That now that we're playing with the two up front, like already we were in trouble in midfield with the numbers. We're going to be even more in trouble. It's going to be so much more open.
Now Leicester are just going to pick it off you guys now. Every time you guys lose the ball, they're just going to be attacking in numbers, man.
Khan, waiting for 65th minute is a unique Lampard's managerial philosophy. Khan, man, shout out to you, man. You've put on some really good comments here today. Craig Howard, if had to watch past manager, would you like to see come back to manage? Oh, past manager. Honestly, Craig, I don't want any more. Past manager. Okay. I would have taken Ancelotti. Taken Ancelotti.
Ancelotti was the best, man. Even as
I
United,
mean, look at the work that he's doing in Everton.
Yeah, I loved watching that Chelsea team.
Yeah.
There's an interesting point to make from that Ancelotti period, though, and that kind of relates to this. Those Chelsea teams. So Ancelotti came to Chelsea in 2009 and Mourinho left in 2007. Between those two managers, you had Avram Grant, Scolari, and who else was it? Gus Hiddink. With those three managers, none of them are real like elite tacticians. But the beauty of those Chelsea teams, they made two champions. They made a Champions League final under Avram Grant, right? A Champions League semifinal under Hiddink. They managed themselves. You had experienced players, leaders. That it didn't matter who the manager was. They could get you the bare minimum elite performances. And then you saw once Ancelotti came through, an actual like elite manager, the levels just grew even more.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's really the difference between that Chelsea team and this one, right? Like you have leaders to get you out of sticky situations. I mean, here with Chelsea, like you have talented players, but where's the experience?
100%, man. 100%.
The thing about you had like 11 captains on that team, right? Balak, the captain of Germany, Essien, the captain of Ghana, Drogba, the captain of Ivory Coast, Terry, the captain of England. You just had leaders everywhere around the pitch.
Everywhere. Peter Cech was probably the captain of the Republic as well, I believe.
Probably Ricardo Carvalho, leader. Like you just had leaders everywhere. And with this Chelsea team, like you said, other than Silva, who is the leader on this team?
Yeah, Mason Mount, 22-year-old.
He knows the club. That's really it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Werner and Ziyech does now in this game. Nice move once again from Timo to link up with Pulisic. And once again, Pulisic, great way to get past. But yeah, Castagna, by the way, Elias has been good, man. He's marshaled Pulisic very well.
Another player that's missing for Leicester, Ricardo Pereira. Top club.
I even stated last season when he was completely fit, he was probably the league's best right back.
I thought so. I think he's a better all-around right back than Trent.
Yeah. Crossing ability, scoring ability, defending ability, the lot.
Yeah, top right back.
Cole, Una, Maddison, Ndidi, and Tielemans has bossed the midfield. 100% they've bossed the midfield, man. Like they've made a joke out of us.
Tielemans has ran the show.
Massive shout out to everyone that's dropped in and sort of tuned in. Thank you, heaps. Honestly, Les, I'll let you comment on it, but I've had a really good experience in this first watch along, man. Yourself?
No doubt, it's only going to get better too, right? Once Chelsea starts winning, I'm sure these will be a little more enjoyable for you. But the experience.
Absolutely.
Thank you to everyone who's been involved. Thank you for the comments.
No, 100%. Guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been good. At least it's taken some sort of depression out from the performance when you watch the game with everyone else.
Yeah.
But 72 minutes less. Do we have a goal? Do we have a goal, Les?
I think Leicester has a goal. I think this game ends 3. I'm telling you, Jamie Vardy hasn't scored yet. There's a goal.
Oh, man. Ziyech, there's no chemistry, bro. Did you see that? Ziyech with Reece James? You'll see it very soon. Ziyech gets the ball wide and then he tries to put Reece James through, but Reece is just nowhere. I don't think Reece is fit. Yeah, I don't think Reece.
After this, by the way, are you going on a different stream or?
Yeah, we're gonna go. So yeah, no, good point. Straight after this, we're gonna close off the watch along after full time, and we'll go to another stream. Leas, if you're free, happy for you to come post match. We're going to do a review where Jonathan will join us, and we'll talk about the match. We'll talk about the match in details.
Yeah, I'm down to come after.
Brilliant, man. And to everyone as well, please tune in straight after the match. Jonathan will come as well, and we'll break down this particular match, and we'll talk about where to. I'm worried about Frank Lampard. Honestly, this is you look at him now. I think he knows as well, man. These are the final sort of 15 minutes of his Chelsea career, I reckon, as a manager. It's sad. I knew it, Les. You've said it as well. This was too early for him. Way too early.
Can you imagine if he gets sacked during your next stream?
While we're streaming.
Roman's ruthless enough for it, man. Anyone would do it, it's him.
Yeah. By the way, Leicester, Les, do you reckon shout for a title contendership as well? They'll go top of the table.
They will for a day because we will. I hope that United will beat Fulham tomorrow, which I think they will. But I don't know. I think it's a step too far for them. I think it's a step too far for United as well. I don't think United will win the league either. But I think when you talk about top, Leicester has to be the favorites now to make fourth place. I think they have to be.
They have to be, bro. They have to be because look at who they're bringing in, man. Ricardo Pereira and Aizi Perez. Perez is a very good player, man. A lot of people don't talk about Perez. Very good player.
Now, for me, I'm making a video soon titled "One Player Every Premier League Team Should Be After" for this window. Like one player that could improve them. I was thinking about Leicester. Their starting 11 really doesn't need much work, bar maybe Albrighton. I think they can do a noticeable improvement on Albrighton. But I think when you look at the rest of the team, man, position for position, top players everywhere.
Top players everywhere. 100% top players everywhere, without a doubt.
James Maddison coming off, man of the match.
As you said, Albrighton's probably the only one that they could probably do with that. And even him, he's not that bad, to be honest. He's not a bad player.
Yeah.
Albrighton and James Maddison they've come out and they've put in Ricardo Pereira and Aizi Perez. They're putting Ricardo Pereira, Elias. So you know what they're doing. They're shoring up the defense.
Yeah. Who's your man of the match so far? I think it's James Maddison, right? James
Maddison, definitely. He's played fantastically. Wesley Fofana in defense has been
spot on.
Phenomenal, man.
I agree with you.
See, this is the thing, Les. The other thing about Brendan Rodgers in this match, look what he's done. He's made a decisive change here that I'm shutting up shop. Like, good luck to you, Frank Lampard. If you can score, I'm bringing in Ricardo Pereira, and I'm going to make sure that there's 5 at the back.
Chelsea are frustrated, man. You see Werner right there. He's had it.
All right, let's see what the fan base is saying. Boy, is Ziyech playing as left-sided provider, just not part of the plan? Yeah, man. So far, I've not seen much of Ziyech. Elias, what do you think?
That's why I told you. This is why I said at halftime when Frank was asking who do we bring in. I think it's over, man. Like, there's only so many things you can do. I just think the adventure is over, right? The fairy tale of having your best player ever come in as manager, it's over.
Yeah.
You need more than players that you already have now at this point. You need higher power.
Absolutely. You definitely need high power now. HMDO1 still didn't discuss about Lampard replacement. Please do, because this man is gone today.
Yeah.
Look, we've said it somewhere along the stream here. I think it'll probably be Jody Morris as an interim. Look at Mount, and he's still running his guts out. Like this guy.
If you ask me, I don't know if it will be an interim manager. I think when you have the likes of Tuchel, Allegri available at the moment, I don't think you can afford to let them go, because think about it. Barcelona, Ronald Koeman is gone. Ronald Koeman is gone from Barcelona. He will not be Barcelona manager for much longer. Arsenal, you never know of Arteta. Real Madrid, you never know of Zidane. So Inter, you never know of Antonio Conte. So I think the minute you fire Frank Lampard, I don't know if you can allow these other top managers to be on the market for much longer, because
that's true.
There are some huge European powerhouses that are going to be actually coaches as well. Yeah, I don't think you can wait and see what happens.
Nah, Liz,
I think
that's very
true. You saw with Pochettino, right? United and played the way. Yeah.
No, I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is once any new manager comes in, like they're just literally, this window only has another 10 more days, and they've been thrown into the deep end to do anything. Like, I'm just worried that whoever the new guy is will be that manager out like pronto. Do you know what I mean? And that manager will have no one to get. I know you can say that, well, you don't need anyone. You've got a plethora of players that can do the job. We've got a very good squad, but every manager, Les probably just wants that one player that they can bring in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a very good point. If I'm Abramovich, though, do you fire Lampard and just because if you fire Lampard, it's because you want to get yourself back into this in this discussion. You want to get yourself back firmly into at least at the very minimum top 4 discussion. But if it is just to get Jody Morris probably has very similar footballing philosophies to Frank Lampard. So what's the difference between Lampard and Morris?
It'll be zero difference. But as an interim, I don't know. I mean, can we go to hitting one more time? Third time. Can we go to him third time? It's just become a joke.
He's tired of picking up the phone. Twice is enough.
Here we go. Vardy through. Oh. Avram Grant, I suppose. I mean, we'll find out whether those rumors are actually true or not.
I have to question that. Avram Grant, right? He was at Chelsea. It was a miracle he made a Champions League final. And then he relegated Portsmouth. He relegated West Ham. I don't think he's been managing since. Come on, man. You got to be more ambitious than that.
Last thing we want is him relegating us. We're so far away from top 4. It's not even funny. Shoke Lang, agree the adventure is over. Check the balance of the team playing Kovacic. Yeah, man, it's true. Craig Harwood, I agree with Leas 100%. I think he was talking about the fact about the interim manager sort of thing. We've got a comment here from Eleni Mena. Why don't we care? I don't understand. I don't know. Look, maybe it's because these players just haven't had the time with Lampard yet, and it's only Mason Mount, and it's understandably someone from Derby days for Frank. Tammy Abraham, like the youth players are probably there for Frank, but all these new ones, you can't expect them to fall in love with Frank Lampard straight away as a manager, maybe as a player, as Leah said.
Let me ask you this, Eleni Mena. If you're put yourself in Kai Havertz's situation right now, you're Kai Havertz, and this is what I think is his first start in 5 or 6 games. Yeah, he benched you time and time again, and the results weren't any different. And then he brings you into this game, a really tough game. He puts you in a situation you're not even in one of your best positions. I think Kai Havertz is better going forward. He's better in a more advanced situation. He puts you in a position that you're not familiar with, and then he hooks you off after 60 minutes in the pouring rain. Are you going to care?
When you paint the picture like that, Leas.
The reality is no. The only players that really care right now are Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham because they know what this club means. But Kai Havertz hasn't been in the country for longer than 6 months. It's not realistic for him to feel the same way about Chelsea. He doesn't.
A response from Eleni. I think I will take that as agreement. But yeah, man.
The truth does
honestly,
hurt.
Les, you've nailed it, bro. You've nailed it. Like, I mean, how could you? How could you fight for the manager when you've only been here for 6 months and
Exactly.
you know you've been benched, so on and so forth, and you know the results haven't been going for you,
Ew.
you know, and he's probably thinking that I was playing far more entertaining football in Leverkusen. Do you know
He
what I
was
mean?
the king at Leverkusen, man. He was Germany's golden boy, and in 6 months' time, he's become a player who sits next to Lampard on the bench in the pouring rain.
The new signings are definitely regretting joining Chelsea. Look, I don't know about regretting because these guys paid very well in Chelsea. They're there on some high wages, and the facilities in Chelsea, you'll hear from many ex-players and even present players that it's fantastic facilities. I think what they are sort of hoping now is having a manager that can take them to the next level.
Yeah,
I think
a lot of these players. Yeah, I think a lot of these players need a fresh start. Werner, Havertz, they need fresh starts.
Like Les, honestly, Ziyech has come from an era where he was playing football with Ten Hag and they were playing one-touch football. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think that Van de Beek and him are in very similar situations. They probably are wondering, what the hell am I doing now?
Yeah.
Because
how often have you seen Ziyech? You look at the Ziyech for Ajax, and he was involved as a winger, as a number 10. He was everywhere. He was scoring goals. He was creating goals. His chemistry with the team was fantastic. And I know it takes time, but see, once again, did you see that? Pulisic just dribbled past everyone and then going nowhere.
Yep.
But, I mean, he got fouled, fair enough. But, yeah, going back to the whole Ziyech thing, Les, I mean, what he's doing at Chelsea is just pretty much just crossing things in. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of question marks to be asked about Ziyech as well. Like I said, I've said numerous times, I'm a fan of Hakim Ziyech. I think he's a good player. But you also have to wonder, 27 in the Eredivisie, that's not a question mark?
Yeah, a lot of people have raised that, Liz, that what are you still doing there? But Ziyech has said it himself that he's been linked with big clubs, though. Like, he's been linked with Arsenal. It's just he didn't choose to leave. I think he could have gone, man. He just stuck around, waited, and maybe he just thought this was the right time. Look, sometimes we've seen it, Liz, that sometimes a move too early is not too good either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think for sure, too, fit means a lot, right? Like you said, Arsenal. I could definitely imagine Ziyech in Arsene Wenger's Arsenal teams. 100%.
Yeah.
It's more so a question.
Go. Yes.
2-1.
Ziyech with the cross. Oh, no.
Offside.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours, my friend.
Is he offside?
It would have been a Werner goal as well. Oh, it would have been too good to be true.
He was offside from the get-go, but when the ball was struck, was he offside? Because the Leicester guy has his arm out.
No, but I don't think it matters because I think it's only body parts that you can score with. Yeah,
well, but how do they look at this, Les? Like, does the arm count for the Leicester guy? His arm is out.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think you see, like, it's his. Nah, but is Thiago Silva? No, I don't know. He might be onside, you know?
I think. Oh, it's still offside. I think they've given it as offside. Have they?
Because it matters where. Like, his arm, you can't score with your arm, so you can't be offside if your arm is out. But it matters where it goes up to. I think here is the cutoff.
Oh,
yeah, he's
right. Still offside.
Oh,
man.
Like I said, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, going back to the whole thing, like Ziyech for us, just pretty much, just been crossing for us. You know, we haven't seen. Look, Les, have you seen how much we play in the wide areas and there's barely any movement in the middle?
Yeah, I definitely see that. That's also a key question mark. I think the next player Chelsea needs to sign is like a controlling midfielder, and not just a midfielder who can pass the ball like Kovacic can or Jorginho. I think you guys need a dominant player in that midfield. I think really that's the next position you have to target. And like you saw a player like Thiago Alcantara on the market this summer. I think he could have done wonders for this Chelsea team. Just a first phase monster. You need a player in the first phase, and even United needs a player like this too. Player in the first phase of possession that just dominates.
No, it's true, true. At least you've got Pogba, though. You know what I mean? Like Pogba does
Yeah.
sometimes play that role. And you
You know
guys are
what?
very good, like off the ball. Off the ball, you guys are extremely good. I think
My
we've
camera.
just lost. We've lost Les. Guys, let's read some of these comments. This is going to be 2-0. I can't see how we score. We've not looked threatening one bit in this particular match. Besides, as I said, in the set pieces, nothing through the middle. Let's read. Zeke, does getting an interim in the hoping for maybe Nagelsmann with maybe no Champions League even possible? Look, I don't think Nagelsmann. I think it's Nagelsmann or Nagelsmann. I don't think he's coming in during this time. He did mention that he's going to play out the whole season with Leipzig, and then maybe at the end of the season he may come through. But even him, man. I mean, to be honest, I want the next manager to be someone who's who knows how to win titles. Like I don't know if Nigelsmann he'll be another project, and we've seen our fan base. I don't know if we are patient with projects. Like we've got the players now. We just need a manager that knows how to win and win titles and go out there and do it. And for me, that could only be Tuchel or Allegri, or I don't know if there's anyone else. Pochettino was my guy. I know a lot of people will say, well, he didn't win anything, but for me, he showed development of players, like the kind of stuff that he did in Espanyol, in Southampton, and then in Spurs. Obviously, now he's won a title in PSG. Welcome back, Liz.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, sorry, my camera died. My my battery for my camera died. I'm surprised it lasted this long, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just on my webcam now.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's almost over the match. This is going to be a 2-0. If anything, it might just be a 3 here. No. Got my brother here in the comments. This is my younger brother.
Hey,
man, it's so unlucky. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if this is. I mean, yeah, that goal probably from Ziyech and Werner was unlucky, but there's nothing unlucky about this match.
I agree.
We've absolutely been dominated by Leicester.
So how far behind does this put you in the top 4 race?
Massively, man. I mean, let's look at the.
Yeah, I'm talking about like points in total. Like how far away are you from 4th?
Yeah, I'm checking this out right now. Let's see what's going on. Live table. We're on 29 points, 8th on the table. Leicester goes top, so we are 9 behind Leicester. We are 8 behind Man United, 6 behind City, and 5 behind Liverpool. So we're 5 behind Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool got a game in hand. So it's just, Les, it's the fixtures that are lined up, man. We've got Wolves next. Do you know what I mean? Like
Wolves are struggling though.
It doesn't get easy. Yeah, they beat us though. They beat us. Like, literally a couple of months ago, they beat us.
Yeah, I remember Pedro Neto in the last minute, but this is probably. I mean, I say it's the best time to play Wolves, but it's also not. It's probably the best time to play Chelsea.
100%. And Wolves will be licking their fingers to have a go at us. They know that they've beaten us, so they know. It's not something that they haven't done before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
And then after Wolves, we've got Burnley, and we all know how resolute Burnley can be. Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys recently found it difficult against Burnley.
Yeah, they're a tough team. I mean, though, Miz, what's your last few words to say as we approach the last 2 minutes of Frank Lampard's Chelsea regime? Because surely this is it, right? I think,
guys, ladies and gentlemen, we can't allow this to continue. We need the football the style to get better. We've got the team that can honestly challenge for the title. Maybe not this season, but we've got the team that is good enough to do well. Ziyech with an opportunity, but Schmeichel, great save. I think what we've seen, guys, is that Lampard is not cut out. He's not like I thank Frank Lampard with everything that he's done for us last season with the transfer ban and the youth players getting us top 4, which was needed. But this season, if we don't get top 4 this season with the players that we have, I mean, that will be a disaster for this club. That will be a disaster. So right now we need damage limitation. We really should have been closer to people up front. as you can see already, that how far behind we are of Leicester, and their budget is nowhere near us. So forget about catching up to Liverpool and the cities. We need to catch up to Leicester. That's where we're at the moment. So my final thoughts is that, look, I've never been a manager. I want Frank to find his way out, but I can't see how he does it. I really can't see how he does it. And if that's the case, then Roman probably sees this as well. Roman probably sees this and thinks that there's no way out here. He needs to get rid of him. It's over, guys. 2-0. Les, your final thoughts, man?
Frank Lampard, your time has come. That's all I got to say. Ahead of the curve, by the way. The clueless American always wins.
Yeah. When this clueless American speaks, you listen. Ladies and gentlemen, to everyone that's joined in throughout the stream, thank you heaps. If you're still at it, haven't smashed that like button, please smash that like button. We're going to try and do this more often, and I'm going to try and bring in Leas as well. I think this has been fun, these watch-alongs, and we're going to try and do other matches as well. Perhaps, do a Liverpool match. Leas is a bit weary about doing a Man United match, but maybe we can squeeze in a Man United match down the track. But perhaps a Liverpool City match down the track, we could do a live stream. But guys, thank you heaps for joining. Smash that like button while you're at it. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch. Honestly, I'm depressed, but honestly, I can't say that I'm surprised. I sort of thought that we were going to lose. A lot of the fan base thought that, oh no, we're going to get something out of this. I knew. We could see what was going on. So I'm not overly surprised by this. Guys, do stay tuned. Leas will be back again. We're going to start another stream soon for the match review. Jonathan will be in. And until next time, well, very soon, we'll see you again. See you guys.
Yes.